I was gonna do a Sean Connery impression. I'm not in the mood right now. Sorry, guys. Sorry, it's not easy. But
why the hell is White Bear watching Falco for God's sake? What the hell is going on?
Gordon's favorite movie.
Yeah, it is Gordon's favorite movie. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Well, welcome back, everyone. Another episode of MMM. I just say it. It's because it's so good. Yes, we're here to talk about not Twilight. We're done with the Twilight saga. Thank Christ. We got through that whole month. As much fun as that was, I think I lost some years off my life talking about those last four movies. But it was a nice change of pace to go back to watching good cinema and watching a movie that's considered a classic in the Submarine community. Hunt for Red October. Great cast. Even Alec Baldwin was.
Let's not go that far.
Well, it's one of his better roles, but yeah, of course he has to shoot somebody at the end. What a shock. Anyway, yeah, so we got a great panel with us to discuss this movie, break it down, go through it. No, Vex, I did not download the new clip. I am very sorry. I do apologize. It will be there for next week's show. I promise you. But that was my bad. Didn't have the time. Yeah, Hunt for Red October. Absolutely love this movie. Even with the very small various issues that it has, it's so well done. I think was this the first of Tom Clancy book, or this is the first?
It was the first book that was adapted to a movie.
Adapted into a movie, right? Yeah. Okay. So as far as our guests go, we have the wonderful Shieldwald of Dragons, sir. Thank you and welcome back.
Yeah, it's great to be here. How's it going? So, watching this movie after you guys did all that Twilight stuff, you can get your T levels back up.
Yeah, big time.
At least borderline. Great movie. I remember seeing it in the theater. And then, at the time I thought, oh, this Alec Baldwin guy is going places.
Yeah, he's going places, all right.
And of course, Sean Connery and everybody in it.
Yeah,
but,
fantastic.
It's got a really kind of diverse cast.
Mm-hmm.
When I say diverse cast, I don't mean it in the DEI sense. I mean, there's a lot of people in it, like Ferris Bueller's principals in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So
luckily, there's no children in this movie.
Yeah, I was going to say no kids for him to bring up.
I want to know what
only
Beverly
briefly
Crusher was doing in DC.
Oh God, was this a what year did this come out? 1990. So Shieldwall, was this a theater thing for you, or was this like years later? It was. Okay.
No, this was a theater thing, but not right away.
Right.
Because I was overseas, so it took a couple of months after it debuted to finally get it in the theater there to see. But yeah, it was. Everybody wanted to go see it because it was a big deal back then.
Of course,
it got a lot of good reviews.
Oh yeah, yeah, people liked it right away. It was pretty popular. Mr. Goodwin, well, welcome back. At least we finally got you back for a good movie.
Yeah, that's helpful.
No alien movies.
I'm sure you'll make up for that soon.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. This man, think of being like John McTiernan. You just run the Triple Crown.
Oh man.
Your second movie is Predator, and then you do Die Hard, and then you do this.
Yep.
I would have retired, and he should have. Sadly, he did not. But this was this was a big thing when it came out, and so I saw it in the theater, and then recorded it when it was on HBO, and I bet I ran that tape to death, rewatching it. In fact, I remember I was actually watching this when Desert Storm broke out.
Oh wow. And
it was like, well, that's apropos, I guess. Okay, it's time to go to CNN.
Yeah, that's awesome. White Bear, or should I say White Curry?
So if me and Vex were mixed,
exactly.
What about you, Whitey? I know you're a little bit of a younger lad than a few of us. So when did you actually catch this movie? Like,
probably in the really late 90s with my dad, and totally don't understand the significance of the movie at the time. I was just like, when's Sean Connery gonna do, James Bond shit, So, but even back then though, we'll come to see their little transition from Russian to English. how they did that. I appreciated that when I was younger, and then
when everybody's British.
Yeah, everybody's British, like every Roman film, and as long as it has British actors. Okay. So, but yeah, I saw this growing up a lot over and over again, and then got into the book, and of course, there's no way to fit like a 17-hour book into a 2-hour
movie.
Yeah.
And, with the Patriot, and also, I think they did as well as they probably could, at that time. But nowadays, I'd rather it be a mini series where they explained it all and did it all. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff in here that's pretty awesome. So I still.
And then
let's not talk about the sum of all peers.
Yeah. That's,
oh gosh.
Oh god.
Yeah.
What about you, Gord? Was this later? When did you actually pick up on this movie?
I believe I saw this movie in the mid 90s. I was probably about 11 or 12. It was my dad was a fan of this very, very quickly. It's funny because I really mostly knew Sean Connery from the movie he did the year before, which was The Last Crusade. So I didn't know him as James Bond. It took forever before I ever saw his James Bond movies. That was actually just a few years ago. But yeah, my dad really liked this movie, and I watched it a few years later. He sat down and watched it with me because I think he didn't bother to show it to me because he probably thought I wouldn't understand it when it first came out because it's a pretty technical film. But when we finally got around to it when I was like 11 or 12, I thought I was going to be bored by it personally, but I was hooked immediately. I thought it was great. It became a pretty regular watch for me. I didn't really need to do the rewatch this week for it. I've seen this movie dozens of times. I would like to thank John McTiernan for not quitting after this, because if he hadn't made Last Action Hero, it probably would have been several more years until I had heard of Amadeus, because that's the movie that I heard of Amadeus.
That's right.
So I'm glad he didn't retire, because he introduced me to my favorite movie.
Your favorite movie ever.
Thank you, John. But yeah, I absolutely love this movie. It holds up really, really well. It's a lot of fun. It's awesome. It's awesome. And it is part of probably the greatest action movie trifecta by any director out 100%. There ever. At least as far as movies, action movies that are not part of the same series. Which is almost unthinkable nowadays.
Yeah, it is pretty incredible, that run that he had. And then you look at his filmography after that, and you're like, oh, what happened?
I mean, he did do Die Hard with a Vengeance, which is good.
I like that movie. I like that.
I mean, I think Last Action Hero is better than its reputation, even though I might not say it's necessarily good.
I know what you
mean. But
I haven't seen.
I think it does things well. I would say it does certain things well.
And yes, I do see you lovely people in the chat. You're all beautiful, even no matter what White Bear says about you.
He's right about some of them.
Some of them, yes. Yeah. Some of them, yes. Yeah. But we're not going to name names.
No.
Vex.
No,
I'm just kidding. We do have 2 super chats real quick. One from Hostman's Lounge. $4.99. Thank you, sir. No one. Russian submarines in a Tom Clancy movie. Well, at least our schools don't like a shooting gallery. That's pretty good. And Vex, my favorite Canadian, for $2, which is like what? What is that in the US dollars? Like 50 cents or something?
Oh, that might be generous.
Yeah. Just kidding. Love you, Vex. No, I did not download the new clip. I am so sorry. I'm a lazy piece of shit. We know that. You should know that by now. For Hostman, I'm going to give you this one. Face off me, come on. And then for Vex, I'll give you your favorite video, Ben.
I'm retarded.
All the chromosomes.
All the chromosomes. All right. Sorry, I had to.
Can you imagine making this movie and then while you're filming it, the wall falls and you're like, son of a bitch.
God damn it. What are we thinking?
We're gonna need some reshoots.
You know what's funny as well is when I saw the $5 one, I was like, you know, it'd be a cool clip for $5 if you did the whole $5 shake thing from Pulp Fiction. Then I realized that's dated now. Shakes cost more than $5.
Oh hell yeah, I love that.
That's no longer absurd. Jeez, I'm depressed now.
That is true. That is true. Well, Hunt for Red October. Yeah, so you get the brief introduction, of course, which, by the way, this movie has a fantastic opening sequence to it. So, so after you get past this part where it's giving you information about Gorbachev, God, we're going way back here.
Well, he hasn't even taken power yet.
Yeah.
November of '84.
Yeah, Chernenko is still in charge.
So they and then here they're just giving you kind of a brief history.
I love this bullshit.
Yeah, nothing of what you're about to say.
But according to what they say, repeated statements, none of this ever happened. No shit. Because some of us read the book.
So, kind of an interesting fact is there really was a Russian nuclear submarine that had an issue off the East Coast with a reactor meltdown. It might have even been prior to this. And one of the crewmen had to go in and do something with the control rods manually, and there was so much heat that it warped the hatch, so he couldn't get out, and he wound up dying in there.
Yeah,
really? Wow.
Yeah, but I saw like a documentary on it. It was called like but anyway, that guy prevented that sub from like melting down and causing a giant like ecological disaster.
Jesus,
on the East Coast.
Wow, that's interesting. Wow, didn't know that.
Well, and then this is also a bit of a callback to the Russians lost the sub, and they couldn't get to it, and they weren't entirely sure. They knew the general area, but they weren't entirely sure where it was, and the depth was too much, and that's why Hughes Corporation built the Glomar Explorer. That was actually built to recover the sub.
Is that what U571 or not? The K-19. Is that what that's about?
I think so.
And
so they
Widowmaker.
K-19 was a different one, I believe.
Okay.
But the one that you're talking about, they raised it in like '74. And,
they got part of it, but the lift body that they made on it actually broke and so happened.
Yeah, exactly, and it dropped some of it. They recovered some bodies, and they did like a full like military burial.
Yeah, and filmed it, and then eventually gave it to the Soviets.
Right. Yeah,
I love the opening here where they're just like, cold, Captain. Shit. you're in Russia in the middle of the war. But I love this sweeping shot of the submarine, the music.
When the music kicks in and they start sweeping over the ship. That's one of the best shots of the movie. Like,
directed so well.
I'm like, I know I'm not supposed to like commie music, but it sounds pretty.
But they got some bangers,
they do.
And I love how they do this with the Russian title, and then it turns into the U.S. It's like, this is clever. I like it. It's a good. God, everything about this movie. Yeah, then we get the insight into our boy Jack. It's Goodwin's favorite actor here.
Yeah,
there he is. Bullets McGee over here.
Not so tactical turtleneck.
Yeah. So he lives in London, right? And so this is him getting. I don't know.
His wife is the chick from one of the chicks from Star Trek.
Yeah, Gates McFadden.
That's a nice shot. Looks like it's painful.
And she's a doctor on the Enterprise. She's also a doctor in this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Typecast.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is him just saying goodbye to the dog. I was going to say goodbye to the dog. Oh my God.
I mean, she's not an attractive dog.
I was like, oh my God. Yeah, you're right, I guess. British people, they're not interesting people. So this is him going.
Go back, Basil.
Sorry.
Basil did the soundtrack for this. Same guy.
Basil.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pronounce that
Love
5
the music
times.
For this.
Say that last
Basil Polidori.
Polidorus. We are going
to call him Basil Fawlty.
There will be Sean Connery accent impersonations coming. You know what's going to happen. So stay with.
I love the Scottish Russian that he does.
Yeah.
I am not bothered or offended, but I would feel betrayed if he talked in any other accent.
Well, I was going to say, you remember the movie Valkyrie? Anybody actually watch that movie?
I have seen it once and vowed never to see it again.
Yeah, I mean, you got Tom Cruise as a German speaking like English, not British English. It's like, But
well, he's no Keanu Reeves when it comes to mangling.
No.
To me, it's like if you're gonna do that, I mean, I can't complain about that because that's literally what Amadeus decided they did in that movie. They had everyone just speak their regular accents.
Yeah.
But it's a creative choice. It's like either do it and fully commit to it, or have everyone do the correct accents. Like, but you got to commit one way or the other.
Yeah, well, and the interesting thing is, like, for the Russian accents, everybody else is doing proper Russian except Connery is doing Scottish Russian.
But us dumb Americans generally don't know anything.
I was gonna say, like, what the
Well, I mean, you hear Sam Neill go, para and para. You're like, all right.
I like
he sounds foreign, at least.
I like how he's explaining what turbulence is to the flight attendant. She's like, listen, I just want you to.
That's
sleep,
that's a few lines of the movie I don't really like because I'm like, a flight attendant doesn't know what turbulence is.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he's like, have another cocktail, go to sleep. I don't want to be with you.
Shut up, asshole.
Yeah. That part was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Like, what are you, my mother?
Added in, and it's true. It's just made to like make him sound a little bit smarter for a minute.
Yeah.
And in the end, it just sounds like somebody with autism on an airplane.
Yeah.
You know,
or an asshole that thinks everybody else doesn't know anything.
Yeah,
stupid. Yeah. James L.
I don't know. They're sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Why? My bad.
It's just, the fact that they're trying to introduce that he has a fear of flying without going into his backstory really quick about how he got injured in the first place, and they're going to link it back at the end and stuff like that. But it's still cringeworthy.
It is. It's a little annoying. It's one of the parts of the movie I don't like too. But James Earl Jones, man, who does this guy? I love this guy.
I know.
His character went into the Harrison Ford movies, if I'm not correct, right?
Yeah. He ends up dying of cancer.
Well, that's nice,
But this is James Earl. Like, he's getting older, but his voice is like at peak power.
Yeah.
He's one of the richest voices in Hollywood. At the time.
What kind of coffee
you can see the items on the desk rumbling when he hits the low notes.
It's low key pretty smart to have him on screen whenever Connery isn't, because Connery's the other one with the great voice. It's like, Connery's on screen. James Earl Jones, you get to talk now.
Yeah.
Yep.
That can only be one.
Russian equivalent to Scotland. He's supposed to differ from the. Oh yeah, he's actually not. His character's not even Russian.
He's from Lithuania.
Lithuanian from birth.
That's like the Scotland of the USSR.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, this is where he's like, what got you out of, on a plane? And he's like, there's this Typhoon class, this new submarine. We don't know what these doors are on it. And of course, James Earl Jones is like, we already know all this shit.
I love when he first looks at the picture and he goes, big son of a bitch, isn't it? Sorry, that was a picture of my penis. I'm sorry.
Excuse me. I didn't mean, the wrong picture. But so then, of course, he already knows everything that's. What was exactly like? I never looked up what James Earl Jones' actual. What was he?
Admiral Greer.
Okay, that's right. I forgot he's an admiral. Right. There, and this is where Alec's like, I'm going to show it to somebody who likes children a little too much. But
Oh my gosh.
He's Well, it's true.
It's sadly it is true.
It's true.
It's true.
And I got to say, the underwater scenes for 1990, not terrible.
Yeah, they
look good.
There's a couple of moments where you're like, ooh,
it's
the compositing or the animation didn't work so well. Also, I don't know why these submarines are banking all the time when they're turning. But I mean, it would be hard to give you a sense of motion for the viewer if it was just turn the rudder and it just goes.
It goes. Yeah, I agree. This is the USS Dallas. I love this part. I love this whole group here.
Courtney B. Vance is
awesome. He's so good, man. And I love how him and this guy here, they just go back and forth with their story. Like, it was Pavarotti. No, it was
Paganini.
Paganini, yeah.
Pavarotti is a tenor. Paganini is a composer.
He's a composer. Yeah, it's so good.
I also Russo's over there just sad.
Yeah. Yep. I love his line where he's like, I was right in the middle of telling Seaman Beaumont. Yeah, Seaman Beaumont, the intricacies of modern story. Yeah, and I ain't chief of the boat. I'm actually Sheena, queen of the jet.
Yeah, queen of the jet.
Which isn't, I'm pretty sure, isn't this guy one of the screenwriters?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, this is one of the screenwriters.
Is this actually true? Is this actually true is this in the trivia, how they filmed this? Did I spoil something? That's interesting if that's true. That makes sense for that time, yeah.
I I love how he keeps calling Beaumont Seaman.
Seaman, yeah.
Right. Just emphasizing them at Seaman. Beaumont here.
Yeah. But I love this. I like this. I like the dialogue's good. And then he just like hears something out of nowhere and he's like right into action mode. Like you can see this guy knows his shit. Again,
he's a seaman.
Yeah, he likes seaman. And Scott Glenn,
it's like a woman pronouncing the word call.
Scott Glenn is good. He's even got toilet paper ready to go right there.
Exactly.
That's what I was going to say. Like, what?
Why is that there? I don't know.
I think it's to wipe the screens.
Yeah,
off.
Those are screen wipes.
Okay. Yeah, well, are you sure?
Yeah, those are screen wipes.
When you gotta go,
not allowed to. Yeah, go to the bathroom.
you gotta go. There. You gotta go. But I love Scott Glenn. Scott Glenn, he's so good in this. So good.
Yeah, Scott Glenn's fantastic.
Oh, he's so good. Yeah,
he had a nice run. I think he did this and Silence of the Lambs was like right after this, I think.
Yeah, well, and before this, he does the right stuff.
I forgot about that.
He's in Silverado. And then,
he was in Backdraft, which I didn't like Backdraft.
Backdraft is actually
it was pretty popular.
Filmed.
Yeah, it's filmed well. It is filmed well.
It's okay. Yeah.
I don't particularly like the movie, but it's like it's filmed well.
Yeah.
Ron Howard, yeah. What were you saying, Showell?
I said he was in Sucker Punch.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks.
Well, we're talking about
he was in Daredevil.
Oh yeah,
true.
yeah.
He's the trainer.
Yeah, but
he was arguably the best part of the Sucker Punch. But,
well, the ending was the best part of Sucker Punch.
Well, Daredevil was good though. So like that's
right. So that counts.
The Netflix one was good. I don't know about this new piece of shit that's.
It was also was it Night of the Hunter? Something like that, where he's the assassin.
Good when you have the con, by the way. It's
thank God.
You're welcome. Yeah, I love this. This is where he goes to. What the fuck is this guy's title again? I'm so sorry.
He's political officer.
He's a political officer. Oh God, this guy was a piece of shit.
Well, he's a political officer.
His name is Putin.
Yeah, Putin.
Actually,
Ivan Putin. It's Peter Firth. So
this is where they do the transition where he's reading from the Bible, like kind of giving him shit, and then I do like how they do this. They zoom in right into his mouth, and then show you right back into English. Well, like okay, it was pretty clever. Yeah. It's pretty clever.
I like it a lot.
I thought it
really
was
cool.
Good.
It worked well.
I mean, it stood out at the time, and it was like, wow, that was clever.
Yeah.
So every one of their boats has to have one of these political officers.
The political officer. I like Connery's look here. Connery's like, I'm going to kill you. Just fucking stop talking, please. Because the political officer's just like, why would you have this? Why would you have a Bible that's talking about a Revelation? Why would all this like end of the world shit? And
it's from my dead wife.
Yeah,
and our government killed.
It has I am become death
of destroyer of worlds.
Right? Yeah, he's like from an American who invented the nuclear bomb.
Yeah. Sorry for being educated, buddy. You're a political officer. You think you be the one who knows.
And then he's like, and then later he was suspected of being a communist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it's not like that was unfounded.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's pretty close.
It's only because he was.
Yeah, pretty close. But yeah, this is where they have to do the missile keys together, right? They have to hold. One has to have one of the other. So not one person doesn't have all the power to unleash the missiles. Yeah. And this guy's just like, I want to. He's like, this is a great day for us, and I'm gonna go alert. He's like, I want to go ahead and alert the crew if you don't mind. I know it's like unorthodox. And Sean Connery's like, oh God, I really have to kill this guy, don't I?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of a like what's going on because he's like before you proceed. What was he gonna do? Talk him into going along with him?
Right.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, him and Sam Neill, like that look they give each other before he goes into this room is like, okay, this is when here we go, because this is the first step in the plan.
Right.
It's a brutal way to die.
Oh, dude. And I didn't realize. I forgot this movie's PG.
Yeah.
I thought PG-13 at least. I was like, wow,
it would almost certainly get a PG-13 nowadays.
Now,
yeah.
I don't think they still were pretty uncertain about PG-13, what really constituted that standard. Because I mean, this would have been perfectly appropriate for PG a few years back. So they were just like, yeah, this is fine, no big.
Yeah, I mean, it was generally like excessive blood or things like that would get you a PG-13. There's really only like one moment of blood, and that's Sam Neill with the.
That's a nice
when they
shot
open up
right
his
there.
shirt.
Dude,
somebody's got to do some memes out of this.
It had some What does the fox say?
Do you like where I'm touching you?
This is the face you make during the prostate exam.
But dude, you're right. Like he snaps his neck and then he does that breath, like where it's just, oh god.
Yeah.
I mean, does he snap his neck or does he like? It's
No, he breaks his neck, so he
neck on
knocks
the
him back, and then he does a double, like he leans
Yeah.
on him to make sure the neck snaps.
Yeah. Oh, you could hear it. It's like, oh. Then he burns the. I like this. Hey, let me just throw some tea on the floor, and I think that'll work. I think that'll.
Now
work.
the one like, and there's not. I'll be honest. I didn't find a ton of issues with this movie. One though that does stick out is him setting. Yeah. Well, this is what. Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. Him setting this on fire and immediately calling the doctor. I'm like, even if that burns in time, there's gonna be smoke all over.
Exactly. The smell of burnt paper is going to be in that room.
The tea. Yeah, it was a tea.
Little silly to do.
Yeah, I burnt the tea.
I burnt the tea. Yeah, I do agree. That was a little much. I was like, well, yeah, they're not going to notice this paper burn. Like, it's.
I mean, it's a cool looking movie shot, and you want to get the line in, but I'm like, it creates a little bit of an issue. But
there's my submarine. I mean, that's a submarine.
Also, a very progressive moment here. There's a woman working in this factory.
Yes, that's probably why the sub doesn't work.
She is one of the few women who has a line of dialogue. I think only like 3 women have that.
There's Mr. I hunt schools.
Notice he's paying attention to the smaller sub in this.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Hey, Skip, I got all these pictures for you to look at. What kind of pictures?
Oh, hey.
I like the biggest disservice to a freaking character, too.
Dude,
he's a one-legged character, a disabled retired serviceman, and freaking they've cut out basically 90% of his importance.
Yeah, it's I like this little subtle like, oh, how's your back? And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, little allusions to what they'll get to later,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is and the guy's like, oh, this looks familiar. Oh, you mean the submarine? I thought you meant elongated things. I like how so they're like, we don't know what this
bigger than the regular Typhoon. Not my type, but
yeah. So Alec Baldwin, Jack Ryan here, he's just like, we don't know what the hell these doors are, and he's like, oh, I think that's a caterpillar, because he's trying to say they tried to do it, I guess, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
He kind of at first he's just kind of looking it over, and he doesn't quite get what he's looking at. Then he's just like, wait, he's like shocked that he's like, wait a minute, this could be that.
This could be a caterpillar. A what?
Yeah. Oh, what? Yeah, just
hydrodynamic drive. Yeah.
Alec Baldwin was like, motherfucker. English.
I mean, great. The scene's really good. It's really effective.
I like this part here where he tells me about like my dad we had like a base because they're in the cold on a Cuban Missile Crisis, right?
Yeah. We used to do in one of my theater classes. We did 2-person scene things where we get up and do like scenes that lasted a couple of minutes each, and this was one of the scenes I got to do.
Did you touch somebody's caterpillar though?
It's like this is a scene I've always really, really liked. There's a lot of little moments like this or monologues.
Gord's like, let me show you what this guy does outside. No, I'm just kidding. Outside of Hollywood. I'm just kidding.
There's an interesting. I mean, the dialogue, and kind of the way it's framed and the way that he gives it is that it scares him enough that it's like a mix. Yes, he still has his technical knowledge, but he kind of reverts to that childish level, right, where he's like, me and my daddy built a bunker out in the backyard because some son of a bitch decided to park 90 missiles 90 miles off of our coast, and then talks about how this one could come up and just sit off the shore and launch, and you wouldn't even know it until it happened.
Yeah, this is where the doctor comes out with the burnt paper around the his body.
He slipped on tea and set a piece of paper on fire.
Yeah.
Tim was trying to light up a spliff, and I caught him.
Yeah.
We set a piece of paper on fire. He went for the tea to put it out, and he slipped and died.
I like Tim Curry here. Like he's basically trying to say, like, listen, we got to report back to Moscow, tell them what happened, turn around. Like anytime there's a death, and Alec Connery's like, listen, asshole, this is like a battleship.
Yeah, this is a ship of war.
Yeah, war. Like we're not turning around.
Combat vessel of the Soviet Navy, and I am senior combat officer. We do not cancel operations because of accidents.
Why would an officer be like, hey, random low-level cook guy,
witness this? Well,
nobody would give a shit. No, he would.
That's what we call a plot convenience.
Yeah,
we'll have to show you
because we need to set up the cook for later.
Well, I mean, you could argue that because he is we know what he is. Obviously, it's like you could argue that he's hanging around there because of his occupation, literally.
Right.
Now, him needing him is, I guess, the convenience. I don't think it's anything too terrible. I do think that's why he'd be hanging around there. But it's like him calling him over.
It's okay with him hanging around, but him being actually specifically addressing him, saying, "Come over here, witness us,
this,
change these keys, and I've got the key, and I'm taking it." And it's like, why? He's a nobody.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I don't think it hurts the movie all that much because it's not. I mean, if you take that out, what's hurt? Nothing really.
Nothing.
I mean,
exactly.
Like, so it's. I think it's just to draw your attention to this guy momentarily. So obviously, when he pops back up, it is for that purpose. By the way, that's guy. If you don't recognize him, he's in Gladiator. He's
Yes.
Yeah, he's in Gladiator.
He is.
But it's clearly just to draw your attention to him for a moment, so you'll know who he is when he pops up
also
later.
the guy to the left is in everything because he's he's in Predator. Mm-hmm. He is Arnold's lifting buddy.
Yep.
And he's in
doesn't say much.
Running Man. And,
he doesn't say much.
The other thing is because it's a 2-key system. All the other officers should have a real problem with him having both of them. At the same time.
Right.
That should be an immediate red flag that something's not cool.
Well, they are Russian. I mean, in their defense.
Well, that's the interesting bit here is that Connery is specifically like, okay, I'm gonna get a cook or something because he's definitely not going to question anything, and Tim Curry's character is so cowed. Mm-hmm. By the it's like I'll try to forget your statements when I my report. Oh, thank you. Right, because I mean that is kind of how the Soviet system works. Don't mess around with authority.
Yep, I agree. There's good old Scott Glenn again. So this is the so they know that there's a submarine out there. Obviously, the machine computers tell them. Love these computers. This fucking 1990, but it's. They're keeping an eye.
This is like less. Awesome. There's less computing power in front of them than I have on my iPhone.
By a lot.
Yeah. Oh god,
but those printers were awesome. They never.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
They had the little paper on the side you had to pull off because it had the spindle that like guided it and everything.
Yep. That's awesome. Yeah.
Tractor feed.
Yeah. I love
this.
Then,
yeah, I really love this monologue. I think it's really, really cool. And he delivers it so well. And then everyone just breaks out into the Soviet national anthem. I'm like, this is pretty dang cool. I mean, this is the kind of thing that gets referenced. Like even Mass Effect 3 or Mass Effect 2 or 3 referenced this, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I love
it. We're gonna do missile drills while
we conduct missile drills. We listen to that rock and roll.
Oh, it's so good. We all wish we had the beard. I wish I can grow a beard like that.
Heck yeah, man.
We all do, man.
I mean, I already can, but I would have to dye it grayer. Not quite that white.
We're not there yet. No, we're not there yet.
You can go full Sean Connery retard. That's allowed. That is allowed.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to start hitting my wife more.
Wow. Yeah, there's the cook again. See, there he is. There's the guy. He's listening in.
I do store that body in the walk-in.
He's symbolic that John McTiernan was cooking at the moment.
Exactly, I am cooking.
Oh, look! I love it when the caterpillar machines go on, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Wait, where the hell did this thing go?" It was right in the singing.
Just disappeared.
Yeah, and I like how what's his name? Vasily? Is that his right-hand guy?
Sam Neill.
Sam Neill. Yeah, I'll just call him Sam Neill. Yeah, I was like, what about the singing? Let them sing.
Yeah,
it's like, just let them have their fun. What are they going to do? Because he's probably thinking if they're telling him that they hear singing in the ocean, like after losing the actual sound of the submarine, they're going to think they're crazy anyway.
Well, I think the other thing is that Connery is very much aware that this is going to be a one-way trip.
That's true.
This crew, and
that's true.
Wants them to
enjoy it.
Enjoy and he ultimately is hoping the Americans are the ones he can make contact with. So you could argue, it's like, well, I mean,
very good point.
Very good point. But, I mean, it's but this is one of my favorite scenes of the movie. It's so good.
It's so good.
And it's again, it's like the Soviet national anthem sounds really good. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds really good.
You commie, what's wrong with you?
It's a nice sounding anthem. You're supposed
to support the Ukraine all the way, Gordon.
I think it's because the language itself just sounds manly and or lazy, which
a little bit of
the same
both.
thing.
All this was handled a lot better in Down Periscope.
I love how Scott Glenn, like, he's just like singing, huh? He's like,
yeah, and so his character, this is apparently his like last placement. Like this is the one and only time that.
Okay, from the okay. I was
on Submarine. So
nice. Here we go.
I love that. Yeah. This guy he has no fucks to give.
So this guy is Sean Connery's dead wife's uncle.
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
This is Yuri Padorin, I believe, is his name.
Yeah.
Or they just call him. I know his last name's Padorin. Yuri might be an assumption because I know there's like 3 Yuris at least. In this movie.
Padorin or Borden is Vasily, Captain Vasily, Sam Neill.
Vasily.
So,
yeah.
I think Vasily's his first name. Yeah.
Vasily. He's very silly. That Vasily.
Yeah.
Did anybody catch like the guy that brings him his tea is like speaking like he's English? He's speaking American English, or is that
right? Because we've already converted to English.
Yeah, that's true, but still, like, there's no Russian accent. There's like not even any accent.
No, because why would there be?
Okay, at this point, yeah, I guess you're right. Like, what the fuck's that different?
Yeah, the supposition is that every conversation is in Russian.
Going to be in English. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That's true. Yeah, so
I will say this. This is just another example of this, but I think the drop the cup trope has always been a bad one. I don't think hardly any movie ever does it well.
Surprise!
I think it's one of the few things that women in movies do significantly better than men because they do the thing where they kind of gasp and move their hands upward, and that's when they drop it.
Yeah,
men dropping cups always looks really, really forced.
Yeah, it's kind of bad.
Like, always looks goofy.
I mean, you can make it work if it's like I set it on the edge of my desk because I'm looking at the thing and it just drops off.
Accidentally hit it. Yeah.
Not impossible to do, but it's not. I rarely see an actor do it well.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, this is where Greer calls him in. He's like, "What are we doing?" He's like, "Oh yeah." He's basically giving him the whole rundown of the Red October, and they caught it, and this and that. And I like this. He's like, "Who's going to give the briefing?" You are. You are.
Yeah, because he's told him it's like, "Oh yeah, we're going to have like the Joint Chiefs and a few other people from the cabinet and some generals," and it's like,
like a cold impromptu briefing in front of
yeah. Don't worry, they'll have some slides for you.
You don't even know what's on it. Yeah, that's yeah.
Well, because he's trying to say, like, you're the only one who knows about this stuff. Like, nobody else
no one knows
can
this
do
material better than you. Tell them what you think. They'll ask direct questions. Give them direct answers.
Give them direct answers. Yeah, the problem is that he goes, Jesus, Jack.
Yeah. I told you. I slammed the door pretty hard on the general. It's like,
it wasn't my intent. Oh, yes, it was.
Yeah, that was good. I like that guy. He was good. But he does. I mean, he does a good. I think he did a fine job here. He gives him all the
he's a little nervous at first, but he just kind of calmly goes through what he knows about the submarine. They ask him if do they think it's a first strike weapon.
Mm-hmm. And he's even confident enough to like turn and ask the guy that's doing the slides if they have a picture of Connery.
Yeah, so that's just, it's typical political stuff that they do in these movies. Is just going through. There's the general. You slam the. I love that scene.
It's like, supposing this is the beginning of a move against NATO.
Then he asks, "Is this where he asked him what the date was?" He's like, "What's today?"
Right. He says today is the 23rd, isn't it?
Yeah, 23rd, right?
Yeah.
This guy's telling him he's like that the Russians that Premier Chernenko was met with his uncle, with the uncle of his wife, and said they had a meeting, and then moments later there was an order to find Red October and sink her, and they're like, and their immediate thought is,
"Oh my God, they have a madman!
Yeah, we have a madman in my." Yeah, then and Ryan's putting it together. He's looking at the photo, because he knows Ramius, like he knows his whole.
Yeah,
background.
he's done a bio on him for the CIA. That's his job. He writes for the CIA.
He even met him in an embassy dinner. Did you ever meet him, Gord, in an embassy?
Yeah. Now here's the other shit moment of both acting and what the hell. Where you son of a bitch, and just hits it, and then just sits there with his stupid grin. Continues like he locked in until somebody unlocked his NPC.
So what I think would have been better, I don't know, maybe I'm not a freaking screamer, but like having him just kind of staring, like maybe like not saying something while like Ryan's looking at the screen, but maybe like a smirk or like kind of like he's looking intently at the stuff, and like somebody saying, "Hey, can you like what's going on? What are you looking at?" Like instead of this shit, because I'm like,
it comes off. Yeah, it's a moment that comes off like it's like this gets their attention. That's the function it serves, but it comes off like that is overtly what the movie is trying to do, is make sure he abruptly stops their infighting and that everyone's attention is suddenly on him. And I'm like, it comes off very forced. Granted, you could argue that's a little bit of an attempt to also add some levity, but it's still like
it doesn't come off
kind of clunky.
They're trying to make him look super duper smart, and they're also in the end, this got reused and made better in some of Old Fears.
The tism flared again. Yeah.
It was much better done than this. Like said, it could have been handled.
Or he could have been like looking and then turned around and just said like vehemently, like, oh, hey, I think there's another thing that's going on here.
I don't mind him like looking at the screen or something and like doing something and then just saying, "Son of a bitch."
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because he's like, not, "You son of a bitch," and just sit there with his shit-eating grin on his face until somebody asks him what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. Like it's a good idea. It's just the elements are not all there that make it quite work.
Yeah, the timing is way off.
They all had cups that they could drop at the same time.
Yeah, they can all just drop their cups.
But like from here on out, it's fine because he's like normal. He's like,
right. Once he switches into this mode, it's good.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, because he's talking about he's Lithuanian by birth. He has no kids to leave behind, and his wife, his wife's anniversary of her death. And then this guy's like, "How could you personally? You're an analyst," and it's like, I met Ramius in an because he knows, like you said, Gord.
I had dinner with him.
Yeah. I sucked his dick.
I touched his beard. I touched his beard at an embassy dinner. Have you ever?
He sunk his sub into my abyssal.
Exactly.
Oh God! And this guy, I love this guy.
No countermeasures.
Yeah, he's good.
He's the reason there's a thing of toilet paper on near every screen.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love.
Yeah. So the politician, he played Duncan in Dune, 1984.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. Good call.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
wow.
That was good. Shut up, Whitey.
I love that movie. Shut up.
I know. I love this though because he's not stupid, right? He's like, I'm a politician. Like, you might be full of shit, but I'll give you, because
I'm a politician, which means I'm a cheat and a liar.
When I'm not kissing babies, I'm stealing their lollipops.
That's so good.
It also means I keep my options open.
Well, because they said they have 4 days until the ship could be active. Red October could be active. So he's like, I'll give you a shot.
He's like, I'll give you 3 days, and I got to hunt him down and destroy him.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey Jones comes out of nowhere. What about kids? Get tired.
Good. Good call, Whitey. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, so he's like, you have to go because he goes, nobody else here is going to believe this stuff. They don't like. You have to be the one that goes in and tries to make contact, whatever. And he's like, oh shit, man, what did I get myself into?
Well, it's like the general's right. I am an analyst. I don't know anything. Yeah, I can't send any of these guys.
Yeah,
they won't believe in it.
Yeah. Yeah,
because whereas you are expendable, it's like something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. The grid square. They're in the grid square now.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, this is the
like
other
battleship.
This is the other Russian sub. This guy, Skarsgård.
Stellan Skarsgård, man.
I forgot he was in this. I was like,
shit,
he's in
this. It's the first movie I ever saw him in.
Yeah, it's the first movie I ever saw him in was him playing Tupolev.
Yeah, and I like how he's like, get all the. He's just going crazy. Like, get all the weapons ready. People are like, what are we doing?
And they brought him up earlier in the movie. Him and the political officer. He said they were supposed to rendezvous with their submarine, and he goes, it's rumored he has a special place in his heart for. He's like, oh, there's little room in Tupolev's heart. So we get a nice. What's funny is we get kind of both angles of that. Like when he first tells him, he goes, we're going to kill a friend, we're going to kill Rems. He looks genuinely sorrowful, but by the time it's time for him to do the duty,
he goes crazy.
He's bored. He's basically kind of competitive. Like there's a part of him that's like, well, if I've got to kill him, then I'm gonna take pride in it.
Yeah, but you also see the beginning where he's like, shit, these orders are 7 hours old, and he's getting the information about running the reactor high. He is a very competent person who is going to do his work.
Best
he takes them up because they're like, what's going on? We're going to kill a friend. We're going to kill Ramius. But that's not going to stop him. He's still going to do the best job he can. Yeah.
But I like what he said. Yeah, like when he's got that look in his eye. He's like, and the other guy's like, oh shit, we're going to go kill him.
Yeah.
And then this guy,
I like that the movie didn't have any one side that was like incompetent or
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one knew what they were doing or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
He also has a line where he says, "Sitting on the bottom like an adult schoolboy," and then Jeffrey Jones comes in. He's like, "Schoolboy,
Schoolboy.
Schoolboy.
Oh no! Oh god, we're going to hell.
Get you, Bueller.
Rudy, you're an asshole.
Oh shit! Yeah, like poor Jonesy here, man. He's just giving it his all, trying to find this thing.
No, Jonesy's doing the right stuff here
Jonesy's doing
because
the
he's
good stuff.
tracking him. He's getting the recording that he's finding.
Mhm.
That's one thing I like about this. It doesn't really have to clue. It's like you're seeing these things, you don't necessarily
Figure
know
it out
what's,
on your
what's
own.
coming, but
Yeah.
it's like they're piecing things together.
Yeah.
This movie really understands its cause and effect well.
Yeah.
That's
And it
really
doesn't-
missing in movies anymore.
Yeah, and it doesn't have like an exposition dump about what is he doing? Well, he heard a thing, and he's doing the disgruntled up again, and all that stuff. Right? You just see him doing it, and then you see him come and present his case to his captain.
And by the way, Russian food looks this. I don't know what the fuck they're eating here, but this is that fish?
Yeah.
That's a fish.
No, that's disgusting. I'm sorry, it doesn't look good.
What are you talking about? I'll take it.
Shut up.
Where did this person learn to cook?
Oh, yeah.
Afghanistan?
Yeah.
There's the cook. Yeah, so this is where Tim Curry. They want Tim Curry get the fuck out.
Yeah,
Go-
he's
go
not.
run-
He's not in on this.
He's not in. Go run your drills right now. He's like, yeah, now.
They need the radiation report.
It's so good. Sam Neill plays
Now?
this perfect. Nah.
No.
Thank you.
So,
I'm
so
afraid
we love
so.
you.
I'm afraid so. There you go. Watching Sean Connery eat whatever he's eating was more entertaining than some other shit. anything.
Well, there's also, again, this is an example of like authority,
yes.
where you have, you know, a junior officer bitching and
He's just listening.
his well, and Vasily is the one that's handling
yeah.
the interactions or whatever, while Connery just eats, right?
Yep.
And then they kind of hash things out a bit, get the drama out or whatever.
There will
And
be
then
no
he
going
says
back.
something, right?
Yeah, I like this though, because they're all like, "Well, was what's his name, the political officer murdered?"
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Oh my," he's like, "I don't care. He was a pig.
He was a
Yeah,
the man was a pig.
It's like,
That's a
okay.
decision we should have all made together.
Maybe we could go back, and there'll be no going back."
Yeah.
And then he said, "This is where he says he sent the letter to the uncle about
Admiral Padurin,
Padurin.
which I announced our intention to defect, and they're
To
just
defect.
like, "What?"
No, he says. I thought he said that it was his intention to attack America.
No,
No.
that's what. No, that's
No.
what. That's what.
Oh,
the,
yeah,
the
yeah,
Russians
yeah,
later. The
yeah,
Russians
yeah.
later like
Yeah,
This
lie
is
and tell
Connery
that to
telling
the
his
US.
team
His
that
it's to the fact.
right, and then
Letting them know they're
after
locked
the
in.
after the whole blow up and all that stuff, then Sam Neill's like, you know, I would not disagree with you in front of the officers, but you should not have sent that letter. You know, when Cortez landed on the New World,
Oh, that
they
was
burnt
such a
his
great
ships.
line. Yeah, and his men were
They properly motivated.
Yeah, that was such a great line because it is going to light a fire under their ass. They can't not.
Yeah,
do
there's
what
no
they need
turning
to
back.
do. Yeah,
Everybody
it's-
is now committed.
Poor Cortez.
Yeah.
What a
He
genius.
goes, Anatoly, you're afraid of our fleet. You should be.
And, well,
Personally,
you
I
should.
give us one chance in
Yeah,
One chance
three.
in three.
one chance in
Any-
three.
More tea, anyone? No.
More tea? No. Back to your
Like, I'm
post.
just going to level with you off. We're probably going to die, but
Yeah.
we're
So
committed to
good.
this one way or
Yeah.
the other.
We're going in. Oh God, it's so good. And then he basically tells them, like, you know, listen, I know our fleet. I know their other.
Yeah,
tactics.
I
have
know
the-
their tactics.
It's the Americans. If we
Yeah.
get some buckaroo.
Yeah, we get the right person. This was really, we get some buckaroo.
He was hoping that would work. Yeah. Oh God. Oh yeah, this is Ryan trying to go out. So he's going to see what's his name? Who's the general? The fucking God damn it.
He's got to get Fred Thompson.
Fred Thompson, that's him. Yeah. I was trying to think of his name. So he goes there and he's like, "Oh, you work for Greer?"
I love the helicopter.
Yeah.
pilot who's like, oh my God, you talk about Chuck. That's exactly the kind of shit you would get on a military helicopter
You want this
with
candy
somebody
bar?
that they're looking at going, oh, you look a little green around the gills. Allow me to share some stories with you.
Yeah.
And he's
So
like, it wasn't just, he goes, it was that
It was that chunky industrial waste stuff.
Here, you want a bite?
You wanna
Yeah.
fight? Yeah. So he's got to wear this Navy uniform to kind of blend in. They thought it was a good idea, which somebody in that room doesn't like.
I think his
They
second.
didn't need that. That
people.
was stupid.
You
They
think they
could have just sent him there in a jumpsuit, and no one would have questioned it.
There you go. Yeah, that's one of
in
those.
the book. They do put him in there, but it's also because the circumstances that led to that were all kind of different. But the main thing was that soon as he meets anybody, and that he has to talk to higher ups, he explains to them, "Hey, I'm sorry about lying and wearing this uniform. I don't deserve it. It's not my uniform."
Gotcha.
So.
I gotcha.
There was nobody pissy about it at all.
I like this part. This is where Jones comes up with this fucking genius plan, and that guy's like, "Go get me some coffee. Go get you some tea. Go get me some tea." And I like how Jones is nervous because this is his commanding off. Like, this is the guy, right? So I love
Rear Admiral.
I like how he's not.
And his Skipper puts it into perspective. You know, in a way that at first is kind of embarrassing, Joe, because he says, "Let me get this straight: a $40 million computer tells you you're chasing an earthquake. You don't believe it. You come up with this on your own." And that's kind of why he's nervous in the first place. Like,
he knows this is some bullshit.
I am basically disagreeing with a piece of $40 million hardware and
government
software.
property.
But that's why they even have him on the boat in the first place. Otherwise, the computer could just do it all.
Right.
He's trained to analyze this stuff and think outside the parameters
box,
of the
and he does a great job.
Well far from 40 leagues.
The other thing is that on a ship of that size, sure, there's a lot of crew, but it's not so many that the captain couldn't absolutely know every single person.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's such a compliment to the writers of this that because this is expositional and it's technical, and they make it interesting and entertaining simultaneously. 100%. That is really difficult to do.
It's hard.
And this is one of the more engrossing scenes of dialogue in the movie. I really love it. Like, even when I saw this when I was like 11 or 12, I was like, this is really cool. I love this.
Yeah, and Jonesy does a good job of explaining why to distrust the computer. Right,
he shows
this was originally done, for geological studies or whatever. And I think when it gets confused, it just runs home to mama, and because that's its default, right?
Yep.
When in doubt, it's a seismic anomaly of some kind, right?
It shows him the proof with the tape. Like, if you
he says, listen to it at 10 times speed.
It sounds like
that has got to be man.
Look at his face. He's like, "Oh, the white man. He believed me. The white man believed me."
Yeah, when he goes, "Sir, let me just go to that." Never mind. I believe you, Jonesy.
Yeah, that was good. That was so good.
Because there's so many technical things in the military that they fix it with a software update. And this is one of them where it needs, he'll report all these findings back, and then they'll update the software based off of all the data they've collected.
I like this
deciphering and cryptology.
He's gonna get his own little Jonesy pat.
This look is like, I'm gonna take this white man's boat someday. I'm gonna be the commander of my own, and then they're gonna make a movie called Crimson Tide. No, I'm just kidding. That's a different. That's a completely different movie. Sorry. This guy's like, he's just like going after Ryan the whole time, and then this guy Thompson's like, all right, he's like, I don't. What does he say here? The Russians.
Well, Russians don't take a dump, son, without a plan.
And he kind of goes out, and again, this is another really good scene for the storytelling, is because he brings up a really good point. And he's just like, he goes, "So what are you gonna do with the crew?" He's like, he goes, they're gonna go back and tell them we got the boat.
Yeah.
So, what do you plan to kill them, basically? And he's like, well, we're not at war. He's like, so. Basically, you need to get them off before we take the boat. Otherwise, this is all academic, right? And he's like, "Oh crap, you're right."
Yeah,
and that's when he's like, "Wait a second, the Russian captain already has a plan for that."
Right? But he figures that out when he's shaving. Yeah,
shaving and shower thoughts.
When he's bending over in the shower,
exactly.
He gets the.
I love Fred Thompson in this.
Oh,
he's great in everything he's
a man's presence. Definitely.
He's so good, and I like how he puts this guy in his place. Like, he's like, listen, this guy was a Marine. He tells him about the helicopterings. He was in traction for 10 months. It's like, cut him some slack, and he's like, oh.
Well, no, he doesn't say cut him some slack. He's like, now it's up to you. You might.
You might want to come.
Right? That's that's your call if you don't like that he's not wearing the uniform.
He's just giving him the information.
Just giving you some history that I'm pretty sure is going to make you cut him some slack. But I'll leave it to you because that's how I lead.
I don't like it.
Wasn't too long after this that Fred Thompson went into politics.
Yeah, he became a senator.
Yeah. There you go.
He also mentioned like the events of like the rundown of the events of Patriot.
Wait, Bear, I can't hear your mic at all.
Yeah, you're kind of cutting in and out.
What did you do?
Beep.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're drifting in and out.
Drift.
Oh, okay.
You're drifting away from us.
That's because of a beer, I guess. So, okay. Anyway, so he also
White Bear, give me one ping, please. One ping only.
White Bear.
Mother Russia beer. Okay, so he also mentions the events of the Patriot games, which I guess they didn't want to bring up in this one due to they hadn't made the movie or whatever.
Not yet. This was the first Jack Ryan movie.
Yeah, so they don't bring any of that history up at all.
So this is where they're doing maneuver. What the hell are they doing here? They're like in a canyon almost.
They're going to go through this. So they have really the Russians have really detailed charts about this canyon system that runs near Iceland, and they want to use
Twins.
it.
This is the one they're heading towards.
That's the entry to was it Red Route 1 or Red
Route
1?
Yeah.
So they want to get in there so that it'll be hard for the Russians and the Americans to find them.
Right.
They can basically hide in there, and they know the track, so they have it on a timer. Like if you go this speed in this direction, then you make your turn at this amount of time, and they can navigate it easily.
Right.
That way.
Which the navigator says, you give me a windowless airplane and a map and a stopwatch, I could fly us through.
And they're timing everything.
Which hilariously is how IFR actually was invented.
No shit.
Yep.
That makes sense. That's interesting.
Yeah, Jimmy Doolittle did it.
Connery's like, we got this, motherfucker. We got this. Look at their smirks. Like, wait till we give this bad boy up to the Americans. Oh, this is where the breakdown starts. The sabotage starts happening.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. And then I like the doctor's like, was there radiation? It's like, calm down, doctor, calm down. We gotta know. You don't even know what happened yet. And
it was like the reactor scrammed, but there was no leak.
It might be the superconductors. Yeah. So they have to basically turn the caterpillar off. And yeah, Connery, I love Connery here because he's like, hey, listen, we just go on normal propulsion, but he gets pissed and like kind of puts the phone back, a little rough, and he's like, God damn it, man, this is not what we need.
Well, and they're like, but Captain, they'll be able to hear us.
Yeah. It's like, oh God, this is the plan's getting ruined.
Hey, I love these scenes.
This is so good.
Another actor with one of the best voices,
bro.
Yes.
Yes. Bro,
diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, every time I see his face, every time. That's all I thought. I was gonna text you about it, Gore, like diplomatic immunity.
He's also, if you've ever seen the made for HBO movie Citizen X about
good movie.
Chikatilo.
Yep.
He's in it pretty deeply.
And he did the audiobook for the Screw Tape Letters, and it's one of the best readings of any. It's literally the audiobook is definitely must own just because he's reading it so well. Yeah. He's reading it so well.
Captain, you've lost another. Oh, that comes later. Sorry.
Which is appropriate, by the way, because he actually has played C.S. Lewis before.
Yes.
So Anthony Hopkins is better known for it for Shadowlands, but Joss Ackland did, and Joss Ackland looks more like C.S. Lewis too.
I just love this. Like, you've lost one of your
We've lost one of our
Yeah. It's like, what the hell, dude?
He's basically saying this is like because they're worried about all the Russian naval activity, and he's like, oh, this is a mass rescue operation, basically.
Yeah, I'm terribly sorry.
Yeah, several important people on there, including a member of the Central, son of the Central Committee. I cannot, of course, say which one.
Because one, yeah. So this plane here, this is where they drop a torpedo onto the submarine, right?
There's sonar buoys.
Yeah, it starts. Yeah, it's a Tupolev.
Yeah, it's a Russian bomber.
Yeah,
this is a good scene. This is a good scene.
Yeah, and which now the crew think that this is a test, which he said in his speech. He said that their fleet will do everything they can to test them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is what they. So he was kind of banking on this happening, and that's how he would maintain the deception.
Countermeasures. Yeah.
Yeah. So the countermeasures is the first example of not so good effects. Because it's very clear that they're animating them, and the compositing and lighting is.
Yeah, you're not wrong. There's a few times you're like 1990 technology, but I guess I know what you mean though. You're right. Yeah, they're timing everything here, and I like how he doesn't turn when they're getting to the canyon, like the wall, right away. And they're like,
it's basically like he starts his turn like literally at the last moment he can, basically to make sure that torpedo doesn't hit them.
Right. Yeah, and you could tell the the crew are getting nervous because like the one is like this thing turns like a pig.
Yep.
You know, in comparison, and he's like,
kinda
"Leave me
had
alone. I'm trying to keep." And the navigator with a stopwatch, you could just see the sweat kind of on his forehead from having to keep up.
When we get to the part with the torpedo,
okay.
And it like blows up on the like pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it hits the
torpedo could totally make that turn.
All it
had to do was do a 45-degree angle to the right, and it would still have hit him. The other thing is the torpedo doesn't have to hit the ship, and it normally doesn't. It blows up near it to create a shockwave.
Yep.
To
the concussion is what fractures the hull.
Yeah, so the torpedo hitting the wall though does cause some damage, right?
It does, and I get it. It's for the movie and stuff, but realistically, it would have caught him.
I didn't know that.
The torpedo can most assuredly turn faster than that giant fucking
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. To make it seem like the torpedo couldn't make that.
I mean, my guess is that the logic they're trying to give you is that it acquired basically whatever it hits as its new target with that turn. I mean, but they accidentally loaded a North Korean torpedo. That's
or it's like somehow the ridge is making more noise than the sub that it is locked onto. No,
is this where they realize they have a saboteur on the? Is this the part?
Yeah. He basically said somebody crippled the caterpillar in a way not easy to find.
Yeah.
So they know they're being sabotaged.
They hacked a big box out.
The wiring.
Yeah.
This is where Alec Baldwin's bent over in the shower where he should have been in jail.
Yep.
How do I get a crew off a submarine? You know,
how do I get the submarine into my?
How do I get Connery's submarine into? Never mind. So
you're saying, "You son of a bitch!
You son of a bitch!"
It'd be funny if he screamed that in the bathroom and everyone just like looks at like the bathroom door. It's like,
oh no, is Jeffrey in there with him?
Oh, you're not young enough, but you'll do.
That becomes like his calling card. He just yells it in random places.
You son of a bitch!
Yeah, this is where he's telling him about all the Russian subs that they're like all over the fucking eastern seaboard, just kind of trying to find this thing. And Ryan's smart enough to go, they're trying to draw.
No. Well, yeah, but the guy's like, they're pinging away, but they're not listening. And he's like, what do you mean? Well, they're doing 27 knots.
Right.
They could drive over my daughter's stereo and not hear it.
Yeah, and then he figures out they're trying to draw them to each other. Yeah.
Hounds to the hunters.
Hounds to the hunters. And this is where So...
Russian will make it to America. He'll die inside of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This part was crazy with the airplane crashing into the.
Before it's also got to draw attention to the fact that then he spots the Dallas on the map. He's like, "What is this ship over here?"
Yeah. I want to get
Dallas.
on there.
He's been, they've been like chasing what their computer calls magma displacement. And he makes the connection because he was told by Jeffrey Jones's character. He's like, it would come off like a seismic anomaly. So he figures, they're actually chasing the Red October.
Please don't use Jeffrey Jones' name and come off in the same sentence. Oh, God.
Better off than on.
Good point. Oh, come on.
No.
Is it recess yet?
Oh, no. Good lordy.
We're going to hell. We're going to hell. This and then the plane crashes into the ship. And
that was recycled footage from the 50s. So the first part was an F-14 making a botched landing, but the crash part was like a F-80 not F-86.
No, it was like an F-80. It wasn't even F-86, right? Because it still had the pods and kind of the straight wings on it.
From the 50s.
Yeah.
It was video, black and white from the 50s of the plane crashing.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was like, "Come on, man!"
I mean, what they should have done is like an F4F from World War II, skidding across the runway.
Yeah, it might as well because it was.
Yeah, as soon as you see the plane, you're like, "That's not right."
Well, am I right in my memory that that happened in this movie because like the planes and the Russian planes were like flying too close? Like
so it was basically one of the
because
one of the F-14 tries to move off a Tupolev, which is a torpedo bomber, and he gets too close and he clips it.
It's a quick,
and I get
because my
my sense was that it's trying to heighten the sense of tension that's going on. And I'm like, I don't really feel like that's all that necessary. I was like,
this business will get out of hand.
It's not uninteresting, but for the fact that they couldn't get good footage of it, I'm like, you really could have cut this part out.
I forgot to mention, I don't know if you did before, Thompson tells him to get, because he's like, I want to get to the Dallas, get me on there. And he's like, you have to, basically, you have to go by helicopter, which for Ryan.
Yeah, you'd basically have to strip it down into a gas can.
Flying gas can.
And he sees this happen. And he's like, I got to do this, don't I? I like this guy. Yeah, if you have to ditch, you have 6 minutes to live. And he's like, Ryan's like, yeah, great. Write a memo next time, Jack.
Yeah.
Like,
especially if he's going to have to do an aerial transition down onto a submarine.
Right.
Yeah, he better have all his gear on already.
Ready
to go, because the chances of you screwing it up are pretty high.
Yeah, I love this. I like so they're like kind of figure out what's going on, and I like how the chief of he's like watching Jones is like exhausted. He's tired. Probably hasn't slept a freaking hour. Like
I think he says he's been on station for like 36 hours.
36 hours. I saw me a mermaid once.
Yeah. Seen me a shark eat an octopus.
I never.
Sir, please go to sleep.
Just go to bed.
I fucked a mermaid.
So did Jeffrey Jones, but that was a little mermaid.
Did it say you son of a bitch when you did it?
Merman. And I love how he hears all of a sudden he hears, like, after all this time it finally pays off. He starts connecting things. And I like, when these movies have these moments.
And by the way, at this point they have repaired the caterpillar.
The caterpillar is repaired. Yeah. But I love these little moments of levity here. Like a lot of these movies, when they do these scenes where everything slows down, that this is, first of all, good acting here. But the dialogue is really good.
Yeah, this is a nice conversation.
It's a nice conversation.
Friends,
it also does a great job of having you invest in Sam Neill's character.
Yes.
Who is going to die.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh God, that was heartbreaking. And he's like, but they let you. Yeah, and I love how he's like, I would like to go to Montana and raise rabbits with the American round.
Oh, the round American woman. I will raise rabbits and she will cook them for me. And I was like, good luck, son.
Yeah, I'll have a pickup truck, and in the winters I'll live in Arizona.
No, I think I will get the recreational vehicle.
Yeah.
And I will go
Actually, I think I will need 2 wives.
In fact, I think, at least, right?
Yeah. And he's like, you can go from state to state, no papers.
No papers.
And then I like when he asked him, like he goes, what about you? And he's like, I don't have any such appetites. And he's like, I want simple. I want to go back to when I was a kid fishing with my grandfather.
Yeah, he really just kind of wants he just wants peace of mind. It's because he's not really doing what he's doing for a quote unquote better life and like to be, prosperous. It's like he just wants to go somewhere where this kind of thing is not expected of him.
His primary motivation is to get this sub to them because he sees this as a first strike weapon.
Yep, he's not stupid,
and that's what scares him.
Well, I love the contrast going back and forth to Dallas to them, because the Dallas is like catching on to where they are finally, and they're talking about escaping, right? And then Dallas is like, "Oh shit, we're getting closer to this." I love it. The dichotomy there is great.
Well, and then the very thing, we're going to clear the baffles, and then we're going to do this thing, and then the reaction from the Dallas is much different energy,
much different. So good.
Also, I love the little part he adds about his wife. He starts talking about her, and he said, "I widowed her the day I married her." It's like 40 years at seas. Like, what is it? He says,
war. We fight a war.
Nothing but casualties.
Where there's no battles, only casualties.
Right. No battles, only casualties. I was like, that's a really good line.
You remember when you remember when scripts were written well? Do you remember those?
Yeah,
things?
By adults.
Yeah, people who actually experience this shit.
With talent.
I like this guy. He laughs, and then Jones like, I got him. And he's like, oh shit.
Jones, you heard a smoke alarm.
Or singing.
It sounded like a political officer slipping on tea.
I love this though. It's like I like when he reads the report of Ryan coming in. He goes, "Oh, you're gonna love this."
Yeah.
For a second, I thought I heard Jeffrey Jones.
Oh, son of a bitch!
I thought I heard somebody saying "stop," but it sounded so young. What the hell? Oh my god.
Selfish son of a bitch.
And I like here, he's like, we have 10 minutes of reserve gas left or whatever. He's like, I don't give a shit. He goes, this could create a war if you don't get me on that submarine.
Yeah, they only have a war. So you have your set tanks, and in case of war, you have an additional bonus that you can use. And so he's like, we're not at war. I can only use that in times of war. He was like, if you don't use this, we may be at war.
So it's a storm going on outside, so he tells him to be careful because of the static. This part was freaking crazy. Like, just watching it, I was like, God, this gave me anxiety, man. I'm like, God damn.
No,
dude.
if this had been a Leslie Nielsen movie, it would have been hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Keep on banging into the side of it.
He just electrocutes everybody in the ship, and
oh, God, nice beaver. No, I'm just kidding. Wrong movie. Yeah, this is done well. And Ryan's like, fuck it, man. I'm just going to cut myself loose and just fall into the water. He's like, I got nothing else to lose.
Well, and I like that they're pointing out that the danger is not just, oh, here's the guy floating around or whatever, but the static electricity in that rotor. There's a reason you're using this rubber, fiberglass with rubber pole, type thing, because if it actually hits you, zap, and you're not going to like that.
Yeah, it's going to hurt a little bit. You're going to leave some marks on your head. Your hair is going to stick up for a while. Yeah, this is good, though. This is good. I like this. And then they finally get him into the sub, of course. And he's choking, and they give him coffee because that's going to cure him.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Also, I like how that's the calmest the North Atlantic has ever been.
I was going to say.
When you actually do those long shots.
Yeah, you could tell this is a movie. Like his clothes, I like how he stays in his suit for like 30 minutes and he's drinking coffee. Like, we got this. Don't worry about it. That's movie shit. So there's more. What is going on here? Oh,
this is when he comes and he's like, they didn't give me all the information.
I don't get all the details, but this is what happened. This is
we need your help. Because he's like, perhaps we could, a joint operation to rescue. In that first conversation, he's like, your office is very generous. I'll take it to my government. And now they're asking for help to kill him.
Yep. Ryan. Oh yeah, this is I love Scott Glenn here. He's just like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, what is going on? We almost died trying to catch you.
Yeah, and he's like basically saying, talking about the Red October. He's like, yeah, we were after him just before we had to come and get you.
Yeah,
and then
thanks, asshole.
then he
flash
the orders. Yeah.
Thanks, CIA boy.
Yeah.
Oh, this is where he gets the orders. Yeah. That they're gonna sink her.
Yeah. Said the sub's name Red October. Captain
Ramius. Yeah, is it?
Seems the situation has changed.
Has he made any crazy Ivans? That's what they call the Russians at both subs that turn. What do they turn like?
They're turning. So essentially, if you're behind a sub, they can't hear you because the sound of their own screws will block their noise. So what they'll do is they'll turn and just do a loop and see if anything's behind them. They'll clear their baffles out, by doing that. And so they call it pulling out crazy Ivan.
And they're in battle stations right now, right? Is that why the red lights are on and shit? Like they're ready to just take this thing and blow it out of the water. That's their orders, right? It's just to blow up.
Right.
It also preserves your night vision.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah, and he's trying to listen, this is what I think's happening. And he's like,
He's basically like they've sent these orders because they know that, they obviously don't want the Americans to make contact. They're worried about that. And he's desperately trying to convince them that he wants to defect. And he then says, has he made any crazy Ivans yet?
Well, so here's another, wait, what? Because he immediately tells them once they get on and they get the orders and they reacquired him, he's like essentially dive to 1,200 feet, like crash dive kind of thing. And I was like, your hull is going to make so much noise. They're going to hear you.
Everything, yeah.
All over the ocean. So it's a little, and oh, by the way, they mention it when Red October starts going up because they hear hull popping.
Yep. Yeah, a little movie shit.
Yeah.
You know how it goes. But yeah, so he makes the crazy eyes and he goes the exact direction he told him he would go. And he's like, all right, fine. We'll hold off because Jack Ryan says so.
Well, basically, he's like, he says,
starboard side.
He goes, I want you
full reverse.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and he tells him basically that if he so much as twitch, I'm going to blow him off. Basically, they flood their torpedo tubes, and he's like, they're ready to fire if he does anything. And then Sean Connery's response, he goes, basically, flood the tubes, but don't open the doors. Basically, don't provoke them.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, but again, the way that they reveal themselves is they go full reverse and cavitate, which then makes them aware.
Right.
And then he's like, all right, I just unzip my fly. Right, we'll see what happens. Yeah, he's so much.
And Jeffrey Jones comes in. He's like, "What?
What?
Excuse me?
I didn't realize it was that time already.
Oh, he's gonna give me a crazy Ivan.
Oh, clear my baffles, big boy.
I'm back full."
Oh god! Oh god!
I got some cavitation for you.
Oh god! Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. And there he goes. I like the pulls up the periscope, and this is where they ping each other. Well, yeah, they're doing.
Well, they go up. He's using Morse code to use lights on the periscope to communicate. But again, it's like, but why does the Russian have to ping? He can just respond with his fucking lights and Morse code.
Yeah. Well,
Well, it's not as dramatic.
Exactly. One ping only.
Yeah, one ping.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me unless the Russians.
Well,
have
my
that
guess
light on
is
it.
my guess is that if he's wanting to, if the Russian uses Morse code back, that'd probably be something the crew could hear him doing because it's making those clicking noises.
Yeah,
And
possibly.
so he might be thinking along those lines, like, could he just acknowledge with a single ping, like, so he doesn't have to give anything away?
Right, but he can acknowledge with a simple.
Well, my bigger thing.
Yeah,
was,
he could.
Like,
He could.
is he using Russian to send that signal, or is he sending it in English, or what?
The Dallas.
So if I remember correctly, like there's like certain internationally accepted languages for different things. Like if you're flying, you have to speak English.
Yeah, it's English or for a lot of things, it's either English or French.
Right. So I'm wondering if like naval international communication or whatever is you're required to learn
to learn that.
I know that I think the flag language, where it's all flags and stuff, is most of that's internationally the same too.
Right. Well, for certain types, yeah.
Right.
Interesting. Yeah, I like this.
You have to speak flag it.
Yep.
No, I like how Glenn's like, yeah. How did you know he was going to turn star? He's like, I didn't.
I guess.
I just get. He's like, well, it's
I had a
right,
50-50 chance.
Yeah.
He's like,
Mike Morris is so rusty. I might be sending him Dimensions on Playmate of the Month.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Oh shit! Funny little Look, his thing's sticking out of the water. Isn't that cute? His big dinghy. And he gets the ping, and he's like, oh, "Okay, this is what we've been waiting for." Like,
yeah, he basically, like, the next message he sends is this. He's being very overt. It's like, if defection is your intention, that he's like,
yep.
And he's like, oh wow, they figured it. They figured it out.
Well, not only that, but it's where they're sending him that throws him off because he's like, ooh. And then he thinks it through, and he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah."
I love just great acting without having to say anything. His
Yeah,
facial expression. It's like, oh man, where did these movies go? God damn it!
Yeah, left with the adults.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's all right. We got a Nora winning Best Picture now. So
Oh god,
yeah.
Cowards didn't give it to Amelia Perez.
Pussies.
Yeah, give them all 13. You
give
cowards.
it to him. I like this guy. This guy would always smoke, got the cigarettes in his mouth. He's like, yeah,
He's an engineer.
Yeah, he's a good guy. There we go. The Laurentian Abyss, the Grand Banks.
20 hours later.
So this is where they come up with the plan to set off, like, like there's a nuclear incident on the submarine, and this is how they get the crew off. So pretty intelligent, pretty smart move. And I like how he's fighting with the doctor just to make it look like,
let the doctor talk him into it because he's already demonstrated that I'm proud. This is a warship and
Captain.
We have been sabotaged. Who said
anything about sabotage?
Putting Zendaya in another film.
Just wait till Patriot Games. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, this is good. This is good how they get them off.
So when the doctor left, did he go and work at a hotel in New York?
Yeah. His last words to him were, "I love you."
I love you, Mr. McAllister. Oh God, yeah. So they're getting off, and then so this is where they're getting everybody off, and he tells the doctor to go with him, but then they see a warship come, like a.
Because he tells them, like Sam Neill's character, he says I think he means to board us, and then of course, obviously, to his crew, he's like, he's like, you'll go with them. We'll scuttle the ship, basically, because obviously we're not going to let the Americans take the boat on board.
You'll earn the Order of Lenin for this. Oh, okay. Whatever.
Yeah. The irony of that statement.
Exactly.
I know.
Well, but there's a great because this happens so fast because he tells the doctor, make sure all of the crew are off.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor, being incompetent as usual, did not.
No. He's going under. Shoot across the back. And he's like, Red October. Red October. Stay where you are. You will.
Well, I love the captain of this ship, too. He's in all the John Carpenter movies.
Yep. Yep. Oh, God.
Put on these glasses.
Captain's going to fight. Oh, yeah.
This here is bullcrap, too.
This scene here. Yeah.
Yeah, these things don't have no kind of self-destruct button. Once you let that weapon go,
it's over.
It's over, yeah.
I was going to say, it seemed a little bit crazy, but whatever.
Yeah, otherwise, the opponent could figure out how the championship can blow up.
Right. Yeah. And they drop it in there, and I like how James Old. And there's your boy, Jeffrey Jones. You guys, I wonder how many young men are on this shit.
Now, big stuff like ICBMs might have something like that on it, but...
I mean, I think they have modern torpedoes. Yeah. I think modern torpedoes have self-destruct function, but I don't think they did back then.
Right.
I don't know if it would be on the ship or on the craft that dropped it, right?
Oh, yeah, well, your biggest problem is how do you signal it?
Right.
Because radio doesn't work all that well underwater. There's a reason you have to surface to get that.
But it's so dramatic.
Your long-range communications underwater is literally like Big Bang sonar, hydrophone type stuff that's very slow. So you don't. That's why subs have to come to the surface to get updated orders all the time.
And there's Jeffrey Jones.
It's very much a for the movie thing. I mean, it doesn't hurt the movie or anything. It's just, it's obviously fiction. It's fiction.
Yeah.
So is Jeffrey Jones. Touch my. Let the missile go. I like that. Yeah. So that's the little. What was the name of this little sub? Did they have a name for this tiny?
It's DSRV.
Yeah, it's a DSRV.
That's a boring name.
Deep sea research vehicle, but it's essentially a rescue vehicle. I love when Greer is like, now that you heard that hit the hull. No, I was here.
I was never here. It's fucking great. Yeah, but I like how Scotland's like, here, take this weapon, Ryan. He's like, he's trying to defect. He's like, willing to bet your life on that? That's just true.
Change his mind.
Yeah, like
why not going to change his mind? Bet your life on it. Okay, fine.
All right, I'll put it in my.
Drives me crazy when somebody puts a fucking 1911 in their goddamn pocket, like stupid action.
Especially when he's giving it to him with a holster.
Yeah, and I'm like, bro.
Just makes me mad when somebody gives Alec Baldwin a gun.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
I have to be careful what I shoot at. Yes, Alec, you do.
Scotland's like, maybe this is a bad idea.
You can only hurt so many people.
Oh God. Yeah. So he gives him the weapon, of course, and he's not wrong. He's like, why not protect yourself just in case?
Just in case.
Stupid liberal.
Yeah, like why would you want a gun?
Just take the gun,
he doesn't
dude.
know how to use it,
or somebody on the crew, like who knows?
Yeah. Well, I mean, from Ryan's perspective, there's a bit of personal conviction here. This is kind of his baby, the idea that he's defecting, and he very much believes. Okay, I know him, but it's like. Now he has to look at this from somebody else's perspective. He's like, he might be right.
Yeah,
true. It might be true.
Yeah. I like this. And they get down into the sub, and they're like face to face finally, and it takes the cigarette. He's turning green.
I do like that. I do like that they made sure to have them convert back to Russian, because now it's like, okay, now you have Americans confronting Russians.
100%. 100%.
The other coming up is the other really unbelievable part that I have too with the whole movie.
Yeah, I like this. The captain thinks you're some sort of cowboy.
Yeah.
You speak Russian? A little. There we go.
Lupa Ruski.
It is. It's like, oh, now we're back to English. Okay, gotcha.
Then he's like, you speak Scottish?
William Wallace.
Yeah. No, I'm Spanish.
What gives you the right to fire upon my Ryan? He tells him that was all just for the game.
Maintain the illusion to the crew.
Yeah, to your crew.
My crew is being rescued.
As we speak.
Oh God, who can? I love Sean.
And he's just
Connery.
like, you sent the signal, and he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, and he's basically he's letting him know it's like, yeah, I'm the one who figured all this stuff out. I'm
Yeah,
you know,
I don't know if you remember, but I met you once at an embassy thing.
We should-
your wife was very lovely.
I give you the missile. Yeah, we seek asylum in the United States.
Yep.
I love it. Yep. And then, of course, Sam Neill dies like 5 seconds later.
no,
Oh God.
and he dies defending Ramius. Like that's
Yeah.
it's. And again,
Yeah.
this is one of those movies that it does this nice, subtle, like male relationship where it's like he's loyal to his captain. You know, he's a friend and he's his commanding officer. He believes in him, and he moves him out of the way and takes a bullet for him. It's just like, that's painful to watch.
And I love how Jonesy's so smart. He's like, no, that's not.
No, the pitch is too high.
Pitch is too high. What do you? Another torpedo? Where the hell?
We know, it's like he's like the torpedo's Russian. It's like we know it's coming fast, but where's it from?
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
Russians.
Yeah, so my big problem with this is one, I don't think you can run that ship with that few of people.
Okay.
And secondly, then when they start getting attacked, they're like, "Oh, we got to work together." Jonesy, hop over on this thing.
Yeah, you'll
just
definitely
rush-
understand
know.
this totally foreign.
And it's a totally different setup than what you'd be used to.
Yeah.
And then you go over here and do this. And the only one that's like acting reasonable is Ryan because he doesn't know what he's doing.
He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Turn
Yeah.
this knob.
I do love this guy who's barely in
I
the
think
movie.
somebody's shooting at
Yeah, I
you.
think someone just got a torpedo.
No shit.
It cracks me up every time he says that.
Ryan, yeah. I work for the CIA. I write books. Books. The CIA.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Oh God. Yeah. And then they do
Yeah, and I love this bit where the captains are disagreeing.
Yeah.
Belay that order.
Turn this until it reads 315.
But the thing is that Sean Connery's character knows more about the torpedoes, the Russian torpedoes, than the Americans.
Than the American
Yeah,
ones,
or at least the rules of engagement and how they would do things.
This one's gonna be close.
But you know what I mean? So he might have knowledge that the other guy doesn't about when they arm.
Yeah, the other thing is that Scott Glenn is used to captaining a fast mover, right? This is a hunter attack sub. The Dallas turns and moves rather differently than
this thing,
than a large ballistic missile submarine.
I like this. What books? I wrote about the what does he say?
About Halsey, it's called The Fighting Sailor.
Sailor.
Oh, I read this book. Your conclusions were all wrong. Halsey acted stupidly.
It's so fucking good. I love it. Oh God.
I agree, Rachel. Sam Neill just wanted a fat wife who could cook.
Exactly.
Now,
well, he didn't say fat. He did say round.
Round.
Yeah.
He just a little thickety thick. You know?
Yeah. Well, he was looking for those playmate, measurements.
Measurements.
Scott Glenn was,
That bottom girls make a world go round.
That's right.
He saw that Morse code and got really excited.
And I like this where he tells Ryan's like, what happens? Like, well, by closing the distance, he basically the thing didn't have enough time to arm itself.
Yeah, basically, it's the safety. Yeah, the safeties.
Oh, this is where Sam Neill dies. Sorry, this is where Sam.
Yeah.
Gunfire. I heard gunfire, Captain. Yeah, poor Sam Neill, man.
I would have liked to see Montana.
Oh, poor Sam.
If they remake this, so we be replaced by Donnie Wahlberg.
That's good.
Keanu Reeves will play Captain Ramius.
I am a submarine commander. I love this part. So they go to find him, and I love this. This part, I love what Alec Baldwin mimics him later on. He's like, Ryan, look careful what you shoot at. Most things don't react well to bullets.
Most things in here don't react well to bullets.
So good.
Yeah.
I gotta be careful what I shoot at.
Yeah, I gotta be careful.
This size of this fucking thing, dude. Like when they show the hull, it's like, look at this fucking thing. It's just huge.
Mm-hmm.
It is, because most of that space is taken up by those missile silos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crazy. Look at that. God, man.
Mm-hmm.
Really good music throughout this scene too.
Yep.
Really good
Fantastic.
90s action music.
Yep.
Very
Yeah.
specific to that time, but it works really well.
I'll turn the man loose. Yeah, this guy is like so.
This is I'll shake the man loose.
Shake.
I'll shake him in.
Oh, whatever.
Because he's having his boys remove the safeties from the missile.
Yeah, they got to reset the safety on the torpedoes.
Yeah.
They got to do it manually. I think.
No, I can. To answer Rachel's question, no, I can't imagine Keanu. I can imagine him trying to sound Russian badly because we saw
100%.
Dracula. Dracula, he tried a different accent there.
Exactly.
Too.
Yeah, just English was too much for Keanu.
The bastard.
He just would spin the whole submarine up towards the sky and start shooting torpedoes.
Yeah,
screaming. Oh!
Stick to John Wick. That's what you're good at, Keanu.
Yeah.
No, that's a Point Break.
You remember? No, I'm saying, but you remember? Weren't we talking about last week after our last week's show about like the end of Devil's Advocate and like the difference between Pacino's acting and Keanu Reeves?
Yes.
Like,
Well, one of them is acting.
Yeah, like you get this great monologue, and you're a liar. You're not my fault.
Yeah.
I was like, oh God, Keanu, stop. That was the best 20 minutes of that.
One of the weaker special effect shots there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it looks terrible.
Well, again, also, and then the countermeasures he uses, but also these attack submarines would not be doing single shots with torpedoes. They would be doing spreads.
Oh, way to go, Dallas! Gotta love Jonesy, man. Yeah, so
yeah,
Dallas
I love where they do the they do the emergency blow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a limb and say this is all just massive bullshit for the movie, but I don't know.
I mean, the emergency blow is right. Yeah, there's a reason that they'll porpoise up and out.
Yeah, that was cool though. Hey, you know what? I love it when they fly, Big D, fly. That's what Jeffrey Jones said to the. Never mind.
Yeah, and then when they come crashing out, the sailors are like, "Captain has scared them out of the water."
Oh, God. I love this shit in movies, by the way, where he finds the cook and just sits there and waits to shoot him for like 30 seconds. He's like, just shoot the fuck. My dad watches this movie every time.
I mean, the idea is that he's never killed before. So
I know, I get it, but it's like this guy's
also. Notice. I noticed this just recently because normally I'm like paying attention. Do you see the drip coming off at the bottom of Alec Baldwin's
Holy
chin?
shit! Dude.
Yeah, they are pouring like something on him to make him look all that sweaty, and it continually pours off of the bottom of his chin throughout this whole scene.
He's got coolant on him.
Yeah, because the
like
thing
oil
explodes.
Or something.
Yeah. He gets sprayed. By something.
Right, it just keeps pouring off of him.
Is that what Skip Tyler calls it? Because it doesn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, looks like he spent some time with Jeffrey Jones there for a minute.
I was gonna say, is Jeffrey Jones standing above him?
Yeah.
What's going on? Keep pull the trigger. Please.
No, Ryan, that's not the semen we were talking about.
Oh God! All right, so they kill the cook who's trying to sabotage the whole fucking thing, and then
what's long, hard, and full of semen other than Jeffrey Jones?
Well, Alec Baldwin.
The thing about playing chicken is know when to flinch. Good line. Yeah, this is where he says the line. Gord, you happy now? You happy?
Yeah. Finally, gosh, get something right.
And I like how never gonna happen, Gordon. It's never gonna happen. Yeah, I like this where he's like, "You killed us, you arrogant ass."
Yeah.
This was a good effect.
Yeah, this one's awesome. Plus, it's the added effect of knowing that the crew thinks that's the Red October blowing up. They're not even aware of the Kanavalov being in the water.
Yeah.
There's a Yuri right there. And I love how this guy's like, well, it's going to be some time before we can search the wreckage.
Perhaps in the future we'll have the technology.
What's funny is we don't really have the technology to explore 35,000 feet below sea level, whatever the crap it is.
Well, yeah, you might be able to go and look at it. And to be fair, I mean, the way the Glomar was set up, you could have recovered something at that depth. But
well, I mean, you can try to send a submarine down with a PlayStation.
The PlayStation remote.
You beat me to it, you son of a bitch.
And then you're like, then you ask the company, you lost another submarine?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Cameron has been to those depths. And there are subs that are made to go there. The thing is, it's like one or two people cramped together, and no, you're not bringing anything up with you other than maybe some seashells.
So they're hiding the submarine in. Is it a lake in Maine?
It's a river. It's
river in Maine. Yeah.
And I do love that you've lost another submarine.
Yeah. The guy looks down like,
and he just looks so uncomfortable.
I'm gonna go fight some cops in Los Angeles.
Yeah. I'm not taking immunity.
Yeah. I love how he's like all this just to hide a submarine in a river.
No.
He tells him about the satellites not being.
Yeah, it's 100 miles from any base, and
and then this is where he's like. Well, this is where Ryan says he grew up, and he
grew up fishing off of that point.
There, and they make a little character connection between the two of them, almost in a subtle way. Invites him to go fishing with them.
Yeah. I too grew up in a place like this.
Yeah, I grew up surrounded by water.
Yeah, and ice because it's so.
Yeah, me and
cold.
Boba Fett.
Yeah, yeah, and then he talks about he does a Christopher Columbus line about I don't know the whole fucking dialogue, but and the sea will grant new hope. Yeah, welcome to the new world, sir. In 30 years, I'm going to shoot somebody in a movie.
Well, I'll slap you.
Oh, no, the whole joke here is like he can't sleep on a plane now. He's comfortable. He's
This is kind of part of why the turbulence line was unnecessary because it really didn't have anything to do with the payoff here. It's just like it's like the turbulence bothering him. So it's like, okay, you can tell them that, and you could have ended it with her just saying, "Oh, we'll try to get some sleep.
Try to get some sleep.
This is the payoff." But no, he's like, "What's turbulence?"
Yeah, I also love the callback to there's two callbacks. One where she's like he promises her brother to Stanley, but then when he's trying to explain Stanley to James Earl Jones, and he's like, "Who's Stanley?
It's a bear.
It's a bear." Anyway, so
Alec Baldwin's like, let's move on here, please. It's got that.
What would have been really great is if Stanley had like a little cotton coming out of its chest because he shot it.
Yeah, exactly.
It came from a meeting that we had to have with Skip Tyler and the parents and all that.
Jeffrey Jones got a hold of the bear. Here's a gift for your child.
Yeah, we couldn't buy a brother for my daughter because Jeffrey Jones outbid us.
Mr. Gorking, you beautiful man. I know you have trivia that you.
I do. In fact, I just kind of stumbled across. It's not. I mean, this is just funny trivia that I found amusing, and I came across it like literally 2 minutes ago. Nice. So the two members of production management on this film were Bo Marks, Marks, and Joel Marks, more like the communist spelling. I just thought that was kind of funny.
So it's the Marx Brothers.
Yeah, exactly. The Hunt for Red October released in the United States March the 2nd, 1990. It had a budget of $30 million, which that's not too bad. The domestic intake was 122 million, and internationally it made 78,500,000 for a worldwide intake of $200.5 million.
So it's more than Marvels, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think it beat it. I mean, on a $30 million budget back in 1990, that's pretty excellent.
Is that 30 million includes advertising, or
no?
I mean, advertising was probably been another 10.
Yeah, 10
probably been another 10. Yeah. Domestic opening weekend was 17.1 million in just 1,225 theaters. The movie opened number one at the box office, where it remained for 3 weeks. Its opening was the 20th biggest weekend of all time at the time of its release, and the biggest non-summer, non-Thanksgiving weekend up to that point. It was nominated for 3 Academy Awards at the 1991 Oscars, including Best Sound, Best Film Editing, and it was the winner for Best Effects / Sound Effects. It used to be just one award. Producer Mace Neufeld optioned Tom Clancy's novel after reading gallery proofs in February of 1985. Despite the book becoming a bestseller, no Hollywood studio was interested because of its content. Neufeld said, "I read some of the reports from the other studios, and the story was too complicated to understand. After a year and a half, he finally got a high-level executive at Paramount Pictures to read Clancy's novel and agree to develop it into a film." Screenwriters Larry Ferguson, who is he's the chief of the boat on the Dallas, by the way. Larry Ferguson and mermaid. Yeah, exactly. The one who saw the mermaids. Screenwriters Larry Ferguson and Donald Stewart worked on the screenplay, while Neufeld approached the U.S. Navy for approval. They feared top secret information or technology might be revealed. However, several admirals liked Clancy's book and reasoned that the film could do for submariners what Top Gun did for the Navy's jet fighter pilots. Captain Michael Sherman, director of the Navy's Western Regional Information Office in Los Angeles, suggested changes to the script that would present the Navy in a positive light. The Navy gave the filmmakers access to several Los Angeles-class submarines, allowing them to photograph unclassified sections of both Chicago and Portsmouth to use in set and prop design. Louisville was used for the scene in which Baldwin is dropped from a helicopter to the submarine. Key cast and crew members rode along in subs, including Alec Baldwin and Scott Glenn, who took an overnight trip aboard Salt Lake City, commanded by then-Commander Thomas B. Fargo. Glenn based his portrayal of Commander Bart Mancuso on Fargo.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Nice.
Some principal cast members drew on previous military service for their roles, including Connery, who served in the Royal Navy, Scott Glenn, who served in the U.S. Marine Corps, and James Earl Jones, who served in the U.S. Army.
Nice.
Casting trivia. Well, actually, let's only do this couple of things first before casting trivia. We usually save that for last. Gates McFadden, who played Caroline Ryan, filmed her role during the year she had been dismissed from Star Trek The Next Generation. When she rejoined the show, her part in the Jack Ryan series was recast with Ann Archer.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Stanley the Bear is the same teddy bear director John McTiernan used in Die Hard.
Die Hard, yeah.
Oh, good call.
Due to his commitment on this movie, John McTiernan had to pass on directing Die Hard 2.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can tell the difference.
Yes, we can.
I like Die Hard too, but it's a drop.
It's a big step down. It's a big
Yes,
step
it's
down.
still
So
fun,
he did come back for Die Hard with a Vengeance, which
Yeah.
I like Die Hard with a Vengeance. It's not
I do
the
too.
best.
I like
it's
it.
Fun. It's a fun damn action movie.
it's the second best one,
100%.
as far as I'm concerned.
Unfortunately, he also did Medicine Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. That movie.
Yeah, I saw that turd in the theater and was like, oh my God.
Sean Connery and Lorraine Bracco in the African jungle or whatever trying to find.
Oh, is that the
Amazon.
one where it's like the ant that gets into
Yeah.
the
The cancer
Is
cures,
it-
but
yeah.
ants. Yeah. Ugh, bad movie. Sorry, George. Go ahead.
Yes, it is.
Oh, you're fine. Just before the film's release, Soviet Parliament removed the Communist Party from government, effectively ending the Cold War. Set during this period, there were concerns that the film would be irrelevant upon release. To compensate for the change in the Soviet Union's political climate, the on-screen crawl at the beginning of the movie states that the events take place in 1984. So that was a very last-minute change.
Oh, wow.
Here's an interesting time capsule. The VHS release of the film debuted on September the 10th, 1996.
Wow.
6
Yeah.
years later.
Yeah, VHS, the video releases took forever. back.
Yeah, that's why there's a reason we would record things off of HBO.
100%, man. Ah, the good old days.
Okay, so casting trivia. First, Bart Mancuso, Tommy Lee Jones was considered for that role.
That might have worked.
Maybe.
It might have worked.
He's a good actor.
I could see that working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jack Ryan's the one with easily the most, so we'll go to Ramius. Academy Award nominee Klaus Maria Brandauer. I don't know how you say his name, but he's a cast member in Out of Africa is where he got his nomination. Was initially cast as Marco Ramius, but quit 2 weeks into filming due to a previous commitment. Arnold Schwarzenegger was allegedly also considered.
Oh, God. Yes.
Wait, because his weightlifting buddy was in the movie? Is that why?
Yeah, it could have
My
been.
grandfather took me
Because,
fishing.
bro, I mean, you think
you
Russian,
imagine?
you think, or I can see the connection. They were like, well, he's Russian already.
Well, I
He's
mean, he was so
Austrian,
successful
so-
in Red Heat. They figured he would have been
Hey,
perfect.
don't make fun of Red Heat, goddamn it.
Christopher Walken at any point considered?
No, he was considered for Ryan.
Yeah. Wow, you son of a bitch.
They were going to cast
an
Walken as the
analyst.
Red October. He was going to be the Red October.
Yeah.
Wow, watch me turn this submarine.
In Russia, we just call it a crazy us.
A crazy Alvin.
Yeah. One cowbell, please.
We just need some buckaroo.
Buckaroo.
I can't do
What do you hear, Jonesy? It sounds like it needs more cowbell.
Wait. Could you
Yeah.
imagine Schwarzenegger and fucking walking in the same movie?
Oh gosh, that would be amazing.
I'm already erect. I'm erect. Let's go.
I like you sent the signal.
Yeah.
Wow, I was a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
He's like, you wish to add something to our discussion, Dr. Owen? Well, I was just thinking. You might be trying to defect.
Oh, shit. I can't. You gotta have to.
He's
move
got
on.
a
I can't.
fever, and the only cure is to defect.
This quote has a radiation leak. I kept the meter up my ass.
How do you get them off a nuclear submarine? I'm sorry.
One pig only, please.
Oh, please move on.
I had this uncomfortable caterpillar.
Up my ass.
A goddamn cook? You got to be kidding me!
Wow.
Why is he staring at me? Why is he always staring at me?
Yeah.
Oh God, he slipped on his tea. Wow.
Yeah, the problem is if Arnold would have been Ramius, the guy's head would have came off when he decided to slip down the tea.
That would have been amazing.
When I'm going, you can't follow.
No,
You get decapitated slipping on the tea.
The problem is if Arnold gets shot by the cook, he's just going to keep going at him.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly.
We need Jesse Ventura to show up. I ain't got time to bleed.
You know what? You might as well, at this point, just throw in Willis and Stallone. Just make it a crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you bring that up.
The hunt for the Expendables.
Uh-oh.
Because now we'll get to Jack Ryan's casting. There's quite a few people that were in contention. First choice to play Jack Ryan was Kevin Costner, who turned the role down to star and direct in Best Picture winner Dances with Wolves. Harrison Ford was also approached for the part, but turned it down.
He'll never work as Jack Ryan.
Yeah, that'll never work. Obviously, he went on to replace him later in Patriot Games 2 years later. Other actors considered: Jeff Bridges.
No, I don't see it.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I could maybe see him in a role like maybe Mancuso's at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Not as Ryan, no.
Not as Ryan. Richard Gere.
No, fuck off. We need
White hair. No, that
we already have a bad actor in the movie. We don't need another one. Who's worse?
Mel Gibson.
Oh, a young Mel Gibson. Well, 90. Well, he would
Jack
be
Ryan,
It'd have been like right after Lethal Weapon.
I just don't see him being a CIA analyst in that way at all.
Yeah, he would be almost too vulnerable.
Could you see? You want a shot at the title, Ramius?
No, I mean, if you've ever seen him in like The Year of Living Dangerously, where he's a journalist, he could have done it, but it would have been. He probably would have had to lose a bit of weight compared to where he was in Lethal Weapon.
I don't see him as a CIA kind of.
I could still probably see him smiling into the nether and going, "You son of a bitch!"
Yeah.
He could have done that part perfectly.
Do you want to defect? Well, do you?
Do you wanna? I wanna.
I'm hungry.
He wouldn't have even waited for the sub to get there. He would have just jumped out of the helicopter.
Exactly. Yeah, just swan dive.
Oh God.
Let's do it again.
That's the movie that made Sean Connery suicide his career.
Oh God.
I don't know, Hunty. You know what? In this show, anything's possible.
You know what? I don't hate League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
It's okay.
There are parts that are like, oh, that was a bad choice, but there was. It's like an adequate film that should have been better and could have been so much worse.
It's not the worst. It's not. Yeah, there are parts where you're like, oh, it was pretty entertaining. But yeah. Sorry, Gord. Go ahead, buddy.
Next one is Michael Keaton.
You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts. You know what? He's a good man. I don't. I
have a hard time seeing him long. As I mean, he was coming off of Batman, so he was kind of, I guess, sort of a hot property. But yeah, it's
I
mean, because the backstory for Ryan, being a Marine and going through all of this and an officer, he doesn't. He doesn't have the chin, if nothing else.
Yeah, he's got the receding hairline of.
His hair is actually what Connery's is without the toupee that he wears in this movie.
I gotta go to work, Ramius.
Go
ahead, sorry.
Val Kilmer.
Oh no, he's just too much of a.
No,
I think his look is correct.
Yeah. It would have turned to a shit show because Kilmer was up his own ass by that point.
It wouldn't have been about the Red October and the whole crew and the team and all the situation that they were going through. It would have been about Val. You know?
Yeah. That's a good point.
Christopher Lambert.
Oh no, hell no!
Wow. No, I was like, nah.
No, because he can't change his accent. I mean, he's always.
Well, you can't. What is his accent? Because this is for Jack Ryan. Keep that in mind. But it's like, what would he?
He's French, but
is he French? Okay.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't.
But you can't have.
Oh God, the "you son of a bitch" would be hilarious with his laugh.
No, not at all.
He did great in Tarzan. He didn't get to speak.
Yeah, when Ian Holm was doing all the work.
Oh God.
Stephen Lang.
Oh, Stephen Lang. Maybe not for Ryan, but he could have been really good as like Bart Mancuso or.
Yeah. And he was a little younger at that time, but I mean, he could have been good enough for Mancuso. He played
Mancuso, probably.
Yeah,
what's his
because he would
face
have been
in
what,
Tombstone just a few years later.
86. He would have been in Manhunter.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not a big change in his character.
No.
Or like his looks and shit like that.
Yeah. This one I was quite intrigued by. Kurt Russell.
Ooh.
Oh.
Maybe. Because he could play like a.
The only thing I could see standing that in the way of that is he has just such natural charisma. It's hard to play him down.
Right.
Yeah.
So that might be the Achilles heel there. Is he's almost too charismatic.
Yeah, it would almost be like either too humorous or too intense. And it would be hard to
I do love Kurt
moderate
Kurt Russell, though, man. He's fantastic.
Because the idea of Ryan is he's supposed to be essentially like, he's got some background and all this stuff, but he's like an everyman who gets put into these extraordinary circumstances and then through wit is able to figure it out.
Quick little sidebar. I almost said, go ahead, bro.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it's like I actually think he's both the best and worst thing about Death Proof because on the one hand he's really likable, but on the other he makes you wish the women were all dead.
What were you gonna say, Whitey?
Just like a quick little sidebar about. I almost kind of dislike Harrison Ford as Jack Ryan. I mean, I know it's what we got and what we're used to, but it's almost I don't know. I kind of wish.
Yeah, he's too old. He's too old to begin with.
Yeah, really.
So I wonder.
He could have been.
And he almost comes off as simple-minded half the time.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a downgrade. But like, and then when those movies were being made, he was fucking. He was
hot at the time, you know.
Yeah. So, but
but he was in his 50s.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Wow. I do agree, though. He was too old for the role by then. Yeah, but that's Anyway.
Bill Paxton.
Oh God.
Oh no, I don't think Bill could pull that off worth a shit. No, he would. It would be a comedy and it would be hilarious. Let's go. Yeah.
All right. Well, the USOB line actually probably be really good in his hands.
Great. Yeah.
That's right up his alley.
100%.
This I think is the worst choice I saw. Ron Perlman.
Oh hell no!
I was like,
no.
Yeah, I was like, ugh.
He could have been one of the submarines.
Yeah,
he could have been one of the Russians. Like he could have replaced Sven.
The cook. He could have been the cook.
Easily. That forehead of his would have been.
It's like, who allowed that gorilla on my boat?
Yeah. It's the cook. He's no training.
I just can't see him. He was in Quest for Fire. That's where he was perfect.
No. Yeah, I agree with you.
He's been too close to the radiation.
Because Perlman was, he always kind of did bizarre character stuff in his earlier years, right? Like he was in The Name of the Rose, where he was a hunchback. He was in
that was a good movie.
He stars in the Evolution Flowchart.
Right? Yeah, Beauty and the Beast, where you're like, what the fuck is this? And
yeah, I agree, Rachel. Bill Paxton, come on, man.
Yeah. Game over, man. Game over.
No, I don't.
The Arnold thing still gets me. It's like, see you next fall, Putin.
Yeah. Have a nice trip. I see you next fall.
Cortez burned all his ships.
I'm going to spill the tea on Putin. I need Schwarzenegger as a YouTube drama streamer where I'm going to spill the tea.
No papers.
Yeah.
CQC called him the N-word.
Oh my God.
That son of a bitch.
That son of a bitch.
Yeah, if he can play Jack Ryan too, that's totally fine.
Yeah,
yeah. Just do it all. Yeah, just get the whole cast in there.
Sure.
I want Carl Weathers as Jack Ryan.
Oh yeah. Now we're talking.
He would actually work a hell of a lot better than most of these suggestions.
He kind of would. He kind of
like your ribs.
I think Kelsey Grammer and Fred Thompson could have been replaced with each other, interchangeable.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got a whole movie we can create.
The problem is Kelsey
Yeah.
Grammer, money played.
Just put every action hero from the 80s and 90s in this fucking movie.
Yes. Jean-Claude Van Damme is Tupolev. He's doing splits in the fucking con.
Oh, God.
Down periscope.
Yeah.
Now he could play Tupolev, and it's like the reason the orders are 7 hours old because he was just sitting there doing the splits the whole
Yeah,
time.
he was doing the
Just
splits. We did
interrupted.
not want to interrupt him.
I couldn't get up.
Yeah.
Well,
Instead of launching a torpedo, he does a roundhouse kick.
Ramius trained him with blindfolds and kicking.
Yeah, hits him with sticks.
He was my teacher.
Yeah, the Bill schoolmaster.
Oh, God.
Okay, there's actually 4 left.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
please.
dude.
Please.
No, it's fun. I'm enjoying the heck out of this. I'm just thinking about how much further it can go.
All the way.
All the way, baby.
Because all 4 of these names are pretty big names.
As far as
Pat-
Jeffrey Jones goes at a school picnic.
Oh, no. Patrick Swayze.
Oh, no.
No.
hell no.
No.
Actually,
No, don't even. No.
I think he actually could have done a decent Jack Ryan.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Well,
yeah.
Nobody
puts
baby
Marco in a corner.
but again, I think he would have had to slim down. He would have had to lose some of the muscle.
Yeah, you'd have to lose.
I wouldn't mind.
character.
He arrives on the Dallas and he's just wearing like the black T-shirt and pants.
You can't defect.
He's got like
You're
the
too-
dance shoes on.
Well, Ryan gets on the boat. We thought you'd be bigger.
Yeah, you can't defect. You're too stupid to defect.
I mean, it would have made sense though. He's in Red Dawn and then Red October. It's perfect.
Be nice. He's telling be nice.
Yeah.
What if Ramius tells me to go fuck my mother? Oh no, of course my mother a whore.
Oh no, the caterpillar drive. They're doing somebody piss in the radiator. He makes him piss in the radiator.
Well, I
It's
can't
perfect.
wait to see what the last 3 are. I can't wait.
The next one is John Travolta.
Oh,
What?
It's bro. No.
Yeah.
God no.
These are terrible.
It's automatic. It's systematic.
Here's Red October.
Red
Go, Red
October.
October. Burn up the hill of the Atlantic.
Oh, those red October.
Caterpillar,
nights,
go caterpillar.
those ocean nights.
Yeah.
Rabios. Oh God, what is happening here?
Well, the last two you'll love because you actually brought them up just a second ago in conjunction with one another. Sylvester Stallone and Bruce
Oh.
Willis.
Yes.
They were in consideration.
I want Stallone. That's it. I want Stallone as Jack Ryan. That's it.
You son of a bitch.
Oddly, I do think Bruce Willis could have played it.
Yeah,
I
Bruce
do think
Willis
he could have played it.
Probably.
You
But
might,
Stallone-
well,
No,
He was
he
too
could've-
hot off of Die Hard. But
well, again,
Well,
the
that's why.
thing about Willis is that he tends to, unless he's like just doing total deadpan, in which case it doesn't really work. He tends
I see what you're
his
saying.
comedic thing kind of comes out a bit much.
Wait, come on. Can we talk about Stallone? The only crazy Ivan I know is Drago.
Yeah.
Bro, I want this whole movie remade now. God damn it, these people are all old, and fucking dying now.
You know, the next time you send a memo.
Instead of the Columbus quote at the end, he just gives him the "We can all change" speech.
Yeah, exactly.
If Ramius could change. Oh God.
We can change.
Oh,
We all can change.
who are you? Who are any of you? So you need to calm down.
Today is the 1-year anniversary of Adrian's death.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but he'll also have like the Rambo thing where he's already defeated like half of the Russians to begin with. So,
Yeah, he's like, you use that 10 minutes, oh, you'll get a war like you've never believed.
yeah.
Here we go, 2 men pinging each other.
You do first bleed.
Yeah.
I fucking can't breathe. This is the greatest fucking. This is the best.
It'll be fine, Cannoli. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, imagine Schwarzenegger and fucking him in the same. Oh my
Oh, God. Yeah, you would need subtitles.
Yeah.
You sent the signal.
Yeah.
The camera zooms in on
Yeah,
someone.
you know, I wrote a book on Halsey. It was called The Planning Sailor.
Halsey was slut stupidly.
Yeah, I read this book. It's stupid.
Connery's like, we met at a dinner? I think I would have remembered this.
Now turn the knob till it says 315. Oh shit! Wait, who can we get as the captain of the Dallas then? Like, who would be a good '90s action star? Steven Seagal. Yes.
We gotta get Michael Ironside in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Well, he'll be chief of the boat.
Actually,
Yeah.
Ironside would have been great for this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh
He
god,
could have been legitimately great for this.
I
Yeah.
can't fucking breathe anymore. Don't.
I want Jesse Ventura in Fred Thompson's role.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm just asking
The
questions.
Russians don't take a dump, son.
Yeah.
Without a plan.
Let me tell you.
Cut him some slack, you fucking faggot.
Sexual Tyrannosaurus.
Just like me.
I ain't got time to Russian.
Yeah. He ain't got time to land.
Oh god, this is the. I want Steven Seagal as that guy though on the book. Ryan, don't turn that knob. Oh, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm gonna die. Was that the last guy? Please tell me.
That was the end of the trip.
Ah,
That was it.
God
We got-
damn it.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I think we spent something like close to half an hour on trivia.
Bro, I gotta. Oh, this is definitely getting clipped. The last half hour has been the greatest. Oh my god.
The
Oh.
Stallone Arnold.
You know, it's turbulence.
Bro.
You know.
They have to be. I mean, you didn't see them together.
Acceleration.
Yeah, it's all the radiation. You know, he's up the land. And,
I said the camera
yeah.
just zooms in on both of their mouths and somebody else.
Hey, at the
It
very least,
changes to dubs where they actually have like proper British reading their lines over them.
what actually is great is if you have him read the line, then her asking pardon makes
Yeah,
way
pardon?
more fun.
You know, turbulence.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh god, I can't do this. Oh. I can't.
She had to settle for Brother Stanley, you know.
Yo, could you get me on the Dallas? Oh my god.
Oh, yes, that's it. Jesse Ventura is Admiral Greer.
Oh
Yes.
yes.
He hires her at the CIA is just
Who
this
the
massive
hell is
conspiracy
Stanley?
theorist.
Fuck your bear. We got nuclear
Yeah,
war
yeah.
happening. Give the speech, Ryan. Don't be a pussy.
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna die.
Like
Oh, my-
he's like, but I don't have time to prepare for the speech. He ain't got time to
Hey.
read.
Ain't
I got time
to
to read. Yeah. Oh, I said speak your mind, Jack, but Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Arnold would be having to like drop one-liners every time.
Oh god.
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
That's like I can't. Oh.
Your speech makes Cambodia look like
Dude,
Kansas.
We just rewrote it. We remade it's a perfect '90s action movie now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I'm gonna take you, Ramius. I'm gonna take you to the bank, the blood bank. Oh my god! I can't. I gotta stop. I can't. All right. Anyway.
Instead, you ended up with later playing Ryan.
Why did you say that?
Oh, God. Bill Duke is Admiral Greer.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
He's
that
got the
would've-
razor. And he's just
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna have me
shaving
some fun.
constantly.
I'm gonna have me some fun.
yeah. You're going to give him a speech real quiet.
That's the
Right
scene
here.
that he thought he heard over the radio. It's like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh god. He sees the other Russian guy. I see you.
Because Bill Duke, definitely would be better as Jonesy in that respect. He's like,
Big October sheep built sweets. You got everything that Uncle Johnny needs. I'm going to have some fun.
Oh my god.
hear you.
Oh, I eat Russian commanders for breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh, we just this is the greatest show
I eat
ever.
Typhoon class subs.
Yeah. This Navy commander gonna kick your ass.
Ryan, things in here don't react well to bullets. I gotta worry about what I shoot at.
Goddamn cook.
Oh, shit.
Oh man.
I think I lost like 20 pounds now. It's a workout. Oh God. Okay.
Just burned off 3 cannolis.
Yeah, you could go to business cannoli and show up your abs now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't know what I've been doing for the last.
That's
12
right. I've been doing crunches the whole time.
Oh God. All right. I guess we could go around giving our final score. All right, here's an idea. Give the final score to the real movie and then the action movie we screened.
And then ours. I mean,
Well, that's easy.
I think, yeah, the only thing that could possibly be better than ours is Velocipaster.
Oh, well,
Yes.
I'm waiting for the sequel still. I don't know.
Yeah.
What the fuck oh, okay, Shield Wall, you're up.
I give it a 7 out of 10. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
They cheaped out on a few things, mainly that F-14 crash footage, but other than that, it was well cast.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with any of the actors, like this guy can't act or whatever. It was just a couple of continuity things that
Sure.
they did for the movie. I can look past it.
Sure.
So yeah, 7 out of 10, and of course with the recast, the 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no question.
Fucking white bear.
If
What
somehow, if you could somehow make that
I've
in
never
AI,
seen Shield Walls. This is him.
if you could somehow, no, I got my picture right here.
There you
That's
go.
the Submarine captain.
There you go.
But if you could somehow remake that with AI
Oh,
and have like it animated or like the actual people doing, you blocked it out, had the voices and everything.
Yeah.
yeah.
One day, maybe 10, 15 years, that might be a thing. Maybe 20.
We could use it to make better movies, but instead we're just going to make memes.
Yeah.
Well, compared to those,
We're going to make the greatest movie ever told, The Hunt for Red October, as it should have been.
Oh,
yes, exactly. Because compared to movies coming out now, a lot of memes are better.
The hell
Can we call it Hunt for Red October with a Vengeance?
Yes,
Yes.
harder.
Oh,
In the hood.
Hunt harder.
I can't breathe, dude. I just
You got to make sure you just put in the hood on everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And
Waylon Bocephus. Thank you, buddy, for the $1.99. Mel Gibson as Ryan. Danny Glover as Danny
Yeah.
Glover.
There you go.
There you go.
shit. Yeah.
You're not dead until I tell you, Ramus. You're not dead until I tell you. Oh God, what can I get? Ramus. Here, you know what?
I told you to speak your mind. It's just been revoked.
Yeah, this is for you. This is for you, Waylon.
You implaticated.
Thank you, Waylon. Okay. I guess Goodwin, you're next.
Oh, yeah. I think, I'd probably give this like a 7 to 7.5. Again, this is like a number of movies that I've been reviewing recently that are from the time that we made actually good movies. If this was made today, it'd be like a 9.5. In comparison. But I think the story is pretty tight. It is. Anybody that read the book is gonna worry about adaptation. But like Whitey said, I think you would have to do a mini series for most of Clancy's books to make them work. And
I can't breathe.
but I remember when this thing came out. Everybody, Clancy had already built up a huge following, and so people were really anticipating this coming out. And when it did, they were not disappointed.
No,
I think that Alec Baldwin is actually the weakest link when it comes to the acting in this, and it's really it's kind of early in his career, so he's you can see some choppiness with some of his acting, and he's kind of just trying to lean on his charisma, and that's it. There are some issues with the effects. The submarines that act like they're flying, from just a realistic perspective, you're like, this is some shit. But
right.
You have to be able to convey a sense of action and motion underwater that simply does not exist,
Yep.
right? In submarine warfare.
Agree.
And so I accept that.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, I think 7.5 is pretty good. And
Yeah,
and this is a movie that I watched a ludicrous number of times.
Yep.
You know, in the 90s, and
Yeah.
you know, when I rewatched it yesterday with my wife, I just started like reciting lines.
Yep.
As they came through. That
Same.
was just what happened. Yeah.
Yep. It's so good. Hey, Whitey, before you go, Jacob sent this for me.
Oh, what we got? What we got? Oh, yes.
What the fuck is going on? Oh, wait, hold on. There's another one. Hold on. Everybody will appreciate this one. Hold on. Oh, my God. This is so good.
Before you go, where are you going? What the heck?
It's walking in style.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Who made that so quick?
I
Jacob,
don't know they
Irons,
react
man.
well to bullets tonight.
Oh, Jacob, you cracked me
Oh,
up. Dude.
man.
Look at that.
That is magnificent.
No papers.
Yeah.
All right.
You
Whitey.
think you're some kind of cowboy or something? I don't know.
give us your scores, Whitey.
Well, yeah, I've, I already said it earlier. There's this thing deserves, if we could expect good quality things out of remakes, if they treat it like they treated Band of Brothers or something like that, then I think that they can make this into something wonderful.
Oh yeah.
But instead, it just wouldn't be. So, anyways, this is something that won't ever happen, and they've had it happen with all the Jack Ryan movies.
Right.
But in the end, I think that this was, I don't know, kind of one of those important movies that I kind of grew up with. It really, really meant a lot to me. So I'm probably going to end up at the same Shield. I'm going to give this one a 7.
Yeah, it's a fair score, I think.
Whitey, if we went back in time and told them, okay, you have a choice to make for the first Tom Clancy book to adapt, would it be Red October or would it be Red Storm Rising?
I don't know. I wish that they had kind of, I guess, Red October of those two choices right there. But I just wish that they had done Patriot Not So Dirty and like dropped like a final third of the book,
Right.
But yeah, I guess that's for the best.
Because that was kind of the when we saw this, and then by the way, the you already had the fall of the wall, and the Soviet Union is busy dissolving, around this time. The hope for any kind of Red Storm Rising adaptation just got up and left. Right, you were only going to get one like traditional Cold War era Clancy book adaptation, and this was going to be it.
Right, and I don't know. Was that character Clark? Later represented by Liz Shriver, was he and Willem Dafoe? Was he in that book?
I don't think he was in Red Storm Rising.
I don't think
Okay.
It's basically just about the running through the Fulda Gap. Here come the Soviets.
The Sieves. Gore Kang.
Yeah, it's funny because I rarely find myself on the higher end of the scoring of movies, but I am in this case. So for the number of times I've watched this film and for the very few number of issues we had and the fact that really none of them are especially damaging, I actually do think this qualifies as a great movie, not just a good one. I actually put this in the upper tier of action movies. Maybe not the very highest tier, like with movies like Die Hard and Aliens, but at worst the next tier down, I would say. Yes, despite the issues, I just don't think they're really all that troubling to me. I think everything else about the way it's structured and whatnot is really, really good. I think almost every performance is really strong. The dialogue is excellent, great score, fantastic storytelling. I mean, leaps in logic to tell a fictional story, I'm more or less fine with, so long as you don't betray your internal logic. And as far as I can tell, the movie really doesn't do that. So I would give this movie 8.5 well-planned Russian dumps out of 10.
There you go.
look at you. Yeah, I always enjoy watching this movie. I was kind of like Gord. I just rewatched parts of it because I've seen it so many times that I just need a little refresher. But yeah, I would say, like I said, we always say doing this show, you kind of just go through every detail and research things and try to look for every little thing, kind of like Jeffrey Jones in a junior high yearbook. No, but yeah, I'm kind of with Gord on this. Like, it's just a damn good movie. I probably would give this 8. I wish Arnold Schwarzenegger was Ramius out of 10. We had this conversation. I think Gordon and I, or one of us backstage one day, I was like, is this movie and Crimson Tide, like, what's the better movie? It's kind of tough, right?
I'll take this one over Crimson Tide.
Yeah, I like Crimson Tide.
Yeah, I think Crimson Tide is more in the good category.
Yeah, Gene Hackman and Denzel, that's obvious. You're just powerhouses. But yeah, this is really good. So
this is more of a
Crimson Tide just doesn't have the same rewatchability as this does.
No, it's a tenser movie, but this is more. I think this is more of a fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Both, yeah.
The scope is bigger. The stakes are high.
Stakes are higher,
and the action itself is great, but also
one walks away with his dog at the end, and then we got other dude who walked away. Well, he didn't walk away; he had a bullet, and it's just and he never did get to have.
He never got to see Montana.
The rabbits, rabbits, George.
The rabbits.
No, and really, it was probably for the best because I have seen Montana. It's not that really great. It's all right.
If Connery could have pet on him and said, "Tell me about the rabbits."
Yeah, tell me about the rabbits.
Tell me about the rabbits.
Well, he could have told him, "Don't worry, you'll see Montana when you're hunting for dinosaur bones."
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Oh my god, that was the best freaking half hour of trivia with the casting. We have fun with the casting stuff usually, but that might have been
we created one of the greatest movies that could ever
exactly
be
made.
Yeah. We literally started the trivia 40 minutes ago.
Yeah. Oh god, that was the greatest thing ever. Oh,
yeah, but we had to get through the actual trivia to get to the real meat of the matter.
The real meat.
Exactly.
How I should have made this movie.
Rewriting the movie, which is going to
The Lost October. That's what you call it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna clip that whole 40 minutes out. We're just gonna share it everywhere we can.
Yeah.
Yes.
The greatest thing ever.
Yeah. Put it on GoFundMe. Let's see if we can get the movie made.
Oh god, you're gonna make me edit. I guess we could go around real quick, talk about where we're gonna be, and hopefully not in Jeffrey Jones's closet. Shield Wall. Tell us where you're gonna be, sir.
All right, so tomorrow at 5 Pacific Standard Time, I will be on Jacob Ironside's show. We will be doing X-Files.
Nice.
Season 2, episodes 5 and 6.
That's
cool. We'll be doing X-Files. Not really sure if I got the actual episodes correct.
Show up tomorrow on Jacob's show. You'll know.
Yeah, just go over to the show. It's a great show.
Yeah,
it's the best show.
Yep.
It's huge.
It's huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great show. And then on Thursday, I will be on Rome of the Empire's channel, and we will be doing a free range stream, which is where we just talk about things that happened in the news during the week and stuff.
Okay.
Those are usually pretty fun.
Yeah.
Because they can take lots of different cool directions depending on the stories we're talking about or whatever. So yeah, find me over there. And thanks for having me on. Of course, it's a lot of fun. Especially the trivia section.
Oh god. Greatest.
But it's always great to be on with all these great people.
Yep.
And you never know what Whitey's background is going to do.
Oh god, yeah. No, Whitey's the king of yeah.
And also, I'm glad you got over your monkeypox.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The iPod.
Really?
Stay away from the bathhouses next time.
You know, I can't. No promises, Goodwin. They're fun.
I know.
It's a good time.
The temptation is great.
Yeah. Me and Jeffrey Jones. We're bunk. Never mind.
Oh, hey. Whoa.
Wow.
She's literally staring at Shield Wall. She's looking at him. She goes, "This motherfucker ain't real." Well, give him that hawk too. Okay. All right.
Oh, okay, Goodwin. You're up, buddy. Where are you gonna be?
Tomorrow I'll be on Gooch's for the final episode of season 2 of Primal. It's a hell of a show if you haven't watched it. Then Thursday, they'll torture me with Kaiju number 8, where shitty anime tropes are my bane. And then Friday, the torture continues with Adam Gray's B-sides on B-roll stage, where, God help us, the last episode was a shit show of biblical proportions. Babs and I started a laughing fit that neither of us could stop for like 5 minutes. It was a train wreck. And was actually more enjoyable than many of the movies that Adam makes us watch. So we got that going for us. And then Saturday, I'll be on NIATS for RoboCop.
Ooh,
Nice.
Good stuff. Finally got. Well, what did he do last week? Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a movie cynic. Yeah, that was a good show.
Spooderman.
White Bear.
Well, you know me, I'm just a slave to my work, but I've been really, I am serious. I'm not horsing around. I mean, some of the stuff I'm working on will just make you say, wow. But
wow.
Jesus.
It'll honestly be a miracle if I get it out on time. So anyways, I'm working on a rebranded channel, and it's going to be some weird, crazy, goofy shit. The channel's name is IBS Hot Dog Wizard, so check it out.
It's the greatest name.
Oh God.
That was my porn name.
Oh, dude, don't copyright strike me. That is going to be so messed up.
That's so good.
But anyways, yeah.
I'm putting the name in the chat just so everyone else can see it in its glory. It's like it's too good.
But
the funny thing is, Whitey told us this like as kind of a joke, and they were like, "No, you've got to go with that."
Oh no, that's
the name.
Yeah.
That is the name.
That's the stuff of legends, buddy. That's how legends start.
Well, it's definitely unique. No one else is going to steal.
I was going to say,
exactly. Like, I don't want, like some people, like tried to comment on my channel and be like, "Did a 13-year-old make this?" And I was like, 13 inches deep in your mom or something like that. Like, dude, what do you expect that you to be serious from me? Really? Come on,
Yeah.
So
well, if
I
you go to
want
that channel, you know what you're getting into.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
100%.
IBS Hot Dog Wizard. It's pretty. It's coming a lot from somebody who wears a T-shirt that says "Chicken Tender Slut." So, anyways.
My God.
All right. So, just be on the lookout. Okay.
Oh God, I'm dying.
Man.
All right, Gord. I know you've been playing Hitman. Yeah, just had a video come out.
I've had 2 videos.
videos.
Actually,
Right.
if you would be so kind to
never
share, it'll be worth it. I promise. Share my screen if you don't mind. Just give you an idea of
IBS Hot Dog Wizard.
Yeah, we're gonna need more IBS in that.
Yeah. I didn't know how to translate that into Grok, but I was like, a hot dog wizard that we can do.
Well,
I mean, maybe that right hand needs to be on the stomach, and there's a bit of bending over and looking constipated.
Mustard coming out of his.
Oh my God, I'm about to lose it.
Yeah.
The 2 choices I gave him and Vex and Canelli was Hot Dog Wizard or IBS Hot Dog Storm. And Storm kind of sounds, a little bit threatening. I don't want to be a threatening person.
Well, but an IBS storm can be devastating too.
Yeah, but then that's just Vex,
Yeah.
That's the more
R.I.P. porcelain.
IBS storm is the more technical term for mudslide, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have had 2 videos come out in the last week or so. I did a little review on Captain America: Brave New World, which turned out pretty well, even though the algorithm hates both of my videos. But then I released my Poorly Explained for Aladdin. I am currently working on what will probably be a large project that won't be my next video, but I do have one thing in the works. I'll probably look for a couple of things here and there to do videos for before that comes out. But as for where I'll be, other than streaming Hitman tomorrow, I will also be on NIAT Saturday talking RoboCop.
Excellent.
Nice. Yeah, it's such a
Yeah.
movie.
I'll be my first time on his channel, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, NIAT's good, dude.
NIAT's
His
great,
shows are fun. Yeah, his shows are good. Definitely check out Gords. The fucking well, they're both fantastic. But
by the way, Gooch just came in the into the chat. Gooch, rewind the stream about 45 minutes. That's what you need to watch.
Start at the casting trivia, and I get if you don't piss yourself, then there's something wrong.
Goodwin had to hit his life alert twice,
and then we'll talk about it in Vegas for 15 hours.
Unfortunately, it wasn't my life that I was alerting.
As far as the channel, we are back next week. 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. We're doing Vex is actually returning next week. Finally,
yay!
So we're doing a movie.
Oh well, I'll definitely miss that one.
Yeah, no, I'm not even going to be here. No, we're doing a Johnny Depp movie. She picked The Ninth Gate. I've actually never seen The Ninth Gate.
I haven't seen the previous 8.
Well, we're going to watch them all this week.
It's kind of a weird movie.
That's what I hear. Well, it's facts. So I mean, so it's for her picking it. It makes sense.
Which one? Shield. Which one is the Depp movie where he's like the cowboy that ends up on the boat? It's like a the whole thing is metaphor of death.
Dead Man.
Dead Man. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
I've heard it's good.
It is. You should see it at least once. And then decide if you want to see it again. It is an experience. And if you don't have LSD on hand, it serves as a replacement for that. It is a very interesting.
I could get LSD. What if I just drink my eye drop medicine instead of putting it in my eye? That would work.
Well, you have to insert it rectally too.
Oh, well, that's easy.
Effect, yeah.
That's easy.
That's not really how you have to do it, but that's how good.
But that's the way I.
What are you talking about? That's the only way. That's how I take my Tylenol.
No, I don't. I have no idea if the movie's good or not. Vex picked it. She said, "Let's do it. Let's do something different." So we're gonna do that next week.
I was crying. I literally was hoping he'd play. That's the only reason I said that. He actually read my mind and did it.
Oh my god! And then of course, you're gonna want to catch us for MMM for the rest of the month, and then half of April, and then taking a short break. Well, I wouldn't say a short break. It's going to be a hiatus. So for a while, the rest of the spring and the summer, because after getting eye AIDS, I need a break. So yeah, definitely, please go check out all these people, even though Dragons and Goodwin don't make content. They're on other channels and they're great. So go check them out wherever they are. And then of course, Gord King, go check out his videos. They're fantastic. And the Aladdin one, I laughed out loud so many times because of the jokes.
It was great. Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Thank you.
And then White Bear, I hope your IBS can stay under control. No, actually I don't. Let it fly. Let it fly. Looking forward to the rebranding. Thank you to the chat. You guys are freaking amazing. You're great tonight, as always. Thank you to the super chats. We love you. We're going to go bye-bye now because it's late for some people who live on the East Coast, those poor bastards. So we love you. Thank you. And we will see you next week at the same time. And good night, people.
I'm going to put some dirt in your eye.